Shalom, Israel, shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday Night Fire, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Kumalak Yabushai, double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Kumalak Yabushai. The hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, and presenting their body as a living sacrifice. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're studying, they're praying, they're fasting, they're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. And shalom to everybody tuning in live. K-Rock the Don, Jades Deflius, Delaphus, Salakia Benjamina Israel, Shemaiah Israel, Nicholas Israel, Athah Ponder, Amaziah Hawada, Shalom, Malak Jedaliah, Destruction to America, Uriah Fortson, Shalom, Ancients New, Why Don't We, Lion of Judah, Healing with J, Kema, Yakar, Yasha Allah, and everybody else. QGM, Quake, right? Yaray, Zion, Shaddai, Shalom, Joshua Brewer, Shalom King, and everybody else tuning in that will tune in, most are willing. All praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. I mean, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it again. You're living in exciting times. If you've been watching, if you've been paying attention, if you've been applying the precepts, which the Most High tells you to be circumspect, then you would say the same thing. You would say that you're living in exciting times. You would see what's happening in the world right now, man. You would see what's happening with China. You would see what's happening with Nancy Pelosi, Taiwan. You would see what's happening with the United States, right? Babylon the Great. They just killed some Ishmaelite leader of Al-Qaeda. As we speak, man, he's about to do a presidential address, for lack of better terms, regarding that. You have floods and earthquakes in South Africa. They're overthrowing their country, and leaders from other nations, they're dodging assassinations. I mean, these are exciting times, right? And I want to kick it off with these precepts. I'm excited, man. I've been excited all day, just hoping and waiting and longing for something to go down, man. Right? Let's go to the book, and we're going to touch on it. We're going to cover it, most I will, and everything. We're going to cover what's going on with China, most I will, and we're going to cover everything with Nancy Pelosi, with Taiwan, what that means for us. We're going to cover what's going on with Serbia and Russia, what's going on with Babylon the Great and Al-Qaeda, what's going on with these prophecies on the earth, the seditions and the overthrowing of governments. Many prophecies are coming to pass, right? And I want to kick it off with Matthew, the 13th chapter. Right, this is St. Matthew chapter 13, and I'm going to read verse 15, right? St. Matthew chapter 13 and 15, and it reads, "For this people's heart is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them." Meaning what? The Most High has blinded the eyes of particular men amongst the nation of Israel. I mean, people of the world as well, but this is targeted really towards our people, man, who are blinded of what's going on. Here you have World War III. It's like, let me get the brother in here. Salakia. All right, see if I get Hawad in. Shalom, King.
Shalom, King. Shalom.
Khan. Yeah, here you have World War III about to kick off. Here you have bombs about to drop. You have nations literally telling their citizens, as we speak, to prepare for war. Find the nearest fallout shelter, and Jake, you're worried about blunts and weed, man. You know, you're trying to figure out, you know, is this the truth or not? The Most High is going to move past you, man. And these prophecies are going to unfold, and you're going to be caught out there, and you have to deal with it, man. The Lord has blinded the eyes of many individuals. And if you are a witness, and if the Lord has blessed your understanding to be able to know that you're living in the end of the world, then you have to take this thing serious, man. right? This is now a heavy admonishment for those who may be lukewarm, or for all of us, really, brothers who may be falling off, or brothers who are just coming in this thing. You may not have been taking this serious. Here you have all hell ready to break loose on the earth, man. Right? This is right after blood moons, nationwide fast, prophecies unfolded. Right? Matthew chapter 13 and verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So many prophets and righteous men would love to be in our shoes right now, man. Now you do, in a regeneration, you'll have certain prophets back on the earth, and you'll have these mighty men of old walking to and fro on the highways and byways again. Nobody knows who those men are, but many men who may not be in this particular generation, who feared and served the Most High, who walk with the Most High, they would love to see the end of the world, man. They wrote and longed for these things, man. They prophesied. They were scourged. They were stoned. They were sawn in half and killed for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. Pilgrims and destitute on the earth, man. Rebuking kings and wicked men. And you are a witness to the end of the world. You're literally living in the end days. And pending on how Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua wants this thing to go down, and things can speed up, man. And things are going to speed up, and things are going to move fast. You know, things are going to move real fast. And if you're not keeping up with these prophecies, or you're not watching, you're going to be caught out there. You know, and guess what? You're going to have to deal with it, man. Right? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and 1. Right? 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, one of my favorite chapters in 2nd Ezra. Right? Chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand. It's like then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So the Most High said, measure the times. Measure the time, meaning what? We cover this all the time. Any brother that goes into the breakdowns, that watches the cold cuts and the videos, you know 2nd Ezra 9 is a staple, man. Measuring the time, meaning what? You literally are witnessing what's happening on the earth. You're seeing a global uprising. You're seeing the pandemonium amongst civilizations. You're witnessing a famine. You're seeing shelves become emptier and emptier and emptier day by day. You're watching overthrowing of governments. You're watching war in the Pacific and the South China Sea brew off or kick off. You're watching Serbia and NATO beef against Russia. You're watching these things. And measuring the times, meaning what? You are watching the prophecy, and now you're measuring how close the next prophecy is based off of what you see on the earth. Right? So you may see famines and wars and rumors of wars. Now you have to literally measure and see how soon it's going to be until these wars actually kick off by watching the prophecies, by witnessing these things, by going on these whistleblowers, by going into these alternative media sites, man, and measuring the time and say, okay, this happened then. All right, now Nancy Pelosi, okay, she's on her way to China. Where can I find China in the Bible? Okay, Russia's threatening Serbia and America. Okay, where can I find that in the Bible? All right, this prophecy happened first. Okay, that means this prophecy is going to happen next. That's what it means to measure the times, man. You got to be in this thing, man. You got to be in this word. This can't be a part-time gig, man. It's not, okay, I got a job, I got a 9 to 5, and I pick up a few shifts during Amazon, man. Right? Okay, I do Amazon Flex when I get off of work, kind of 2 to 3 times a week. Or I do DoorDash, or I do Lyft and Uber, but I have my main job, and that's my part-time job. You can't treat this truth like you're a part-time job, man. You freak off in the world, but now this is just something kind of to do when you're in your downtime. I guess I have nothing to do. Where is my Bible? Where is the videos? No, this is a full-time job, man. This is a profession, a vocation, if you can understand. So the Lord said, measure thou the time. And we're going to pull up all of the information. We're not holding nothing back tonight. Everything that we've been witnessing, we're going to put it out on the forefront, man. Live and direct, Most High willing. And you'll see why we're so excited, huh? Right? Let's read on. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Because the prophets, even Enoch prophesied at the end of the world. Read the book of Jude, verse 7 on down, man. It says Enoch prophesied of these things, man. Saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints to execute vengeance upon all that are ungodly. Paraphrasing it, man. So Noah prophesied at the end of the world, right? Elijah, he prophesied of these things. Isaiah, Jeremiah, they all prophesied at the end of the world, right? So the Most High is telling you straight up and down in verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So you as a person, as an individual, you have a beginning, right? And you have a death, right? You may have a car, you may get a new car, 20 years, it breaks down, you can't use it anymore, right? Plants and trees, they have a beginning, then they get cut down, right? Light bulbs, it runs out, right? It kicks off, it's done, it burns out. Everything has a beginning and an end, man. Right? Except Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. Hey, Babylon the Great, they had a beginning, man. And now you're in their end. China had a beginning, and now you're in their end. Taiwan, Russia, Serbia, NATO, all things have a beginning, and all things have an end, man. Right? The only things that don't have an end is Yahweh Bashmi Mashiach Malak Yahushua, man. You know, and things that he has created to be immortal. So you're looking at the end of this society. I know Hawaii, you had a precept, King. Right? Well, I'm gonna pull this up till the brother comes back. Oh, go ahead, King.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick. This is I'm gonna start off with Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 10. You get me, King?
Come.
This Isaiah, I'll start at verse 9. Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 9. And he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. Right? So the Lord is spiritually blind. The Lord is spiritually making people deaf out here, man. Here we go. You got people who they hear about the monkeypox, but they don't really understand what's going on. They still can't conceive that this is the end of the world. They don't perceive that. They just, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. They don't know what's going on. They're like, they just think they just can't get a break. I just can't take a break. First, my auntie, she had damn coronavirus, and now my uncle got the monkeypox. I'm just wondering.
You got to use different words.
Oh, sluggy. Yeah, but yeah, they wondering, just pestilences, man. You understand? And they don't understand, what's going on, why these things happening. They still can't understand that it's the end of the world, man. They still don't understand that, hey, the Lord is judging America, man. They don't have eyes to see and ears to hear. The Lord said if they did, then they'll convert and be healed. So the Lord has plans on destroying a lot of these people, man. Right? We get this in Isaiah chapter. In fact, I'll go to Psalms first. We get this in Psalms 102. Right? This is Psalms chapter 102. In verse 6. We go Psalms chapter 102 and verse 6, and it reads, I am like a pelican of the wilderness, I am like an owl of the desert. I watch and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop. Right? So you got to be like an owl in this thing. You got to have big eyes, seeing everything, understand what's going on, always watching the prophecies. Like the brother Araya always going to, you can't just watch local news. You can't just say, nothing bad is happening in the neighborhood. The local gas station didn't get robbed, so nothing bad is happening on earth. When the Lord is constantly plaguing America, man. The Lord is constantly plaguing Babylon the Great, and we as watchmen, we have to sound the alarm. We as watchmen, we have to be watching. Our eyes have to be open, so we can, like the brother brought in 2nd Ezra 9 and 1, we can measure the times diligently, man. We have to measure the times. Sorry, I got one more precept, King. We have to measure the times diligently these last days, man, before it's too late. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 17 and verse 7. Isaiah chapter 17 and verse 7. At that day shall a man look to his maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel. So in that day, you're gonna know, man, who to really put your trust in. In that day, you're gonna know who to really fear, man. In these last days, when all hell break loose, you're not gonna look towards your woman. Women, you're not gonna look towards some man, you know, that you got your eye on. You're not gonna look to America to deliver you. You're not gonna look towards, NATO or anybody like that, man. The military and the police. You're not gonna do that, man. In that day, you're gonna know that you need the Lord to deliver you out of this thing, man. Or if you don't have it, it's too bad, because you're not gonna have the police to call. You're not gonna have security guards. You're not gonna call your homeboys or none of that, man. If you're gonna look upon Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah, he either gonna deliver you or he not. You got it, King.
God, and I want to get this Habakkuk chapter 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and will set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So Habakkuk is in the same spirit as the rest of our forefathers. He literally was complaining and grieving about the oppression that was befalling his people by the Babylonians. And he waited and he said, what? I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me. And we're watching to see, man, what the Most High is going to do on the earth. We don't go bird watching. We don't take binoculars out, backpacks, and go to the damn plains of God knows where, man, and point out damn robins and canaries, man. We're watching to see what the Most High is doing on the earth. We get up early in the morning, we hit that refresh button, that scroll button. We go to the different sites, we scroll, we link, we refresh, we type this in, we go to this site, we link it up with the precept, and we see what the Most High is doing on the earth, man. Right, reading on. And what he was saying to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So the visions were written down by the prophets on tables, right? And then they would take these tables and give it to the people that they can see the message and warn the people and relay what's happening on the earth. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Because people speak about the end of the world, and they say, well, maybe that won't happen in my generation. Well, maybe that was my grandmother's time. Or maybe that was my great-grandmother's time. People have always talked about the end of the world. How do we know it's going to befall us? Well, the Most High said the vision is yet for an appointed time. There was a time to leave Egypt. There was a time for the Most High to destroy Belshazzar and the ancient Babylonian Empire. There was a time for Alexander the Great to die. There was a time for all kingdoms and men to give up the ghost. There is a time and place for everything under the sun. And the Most High said there are certain visions that are appointed for a time. In the third heaven, before the earth was made, the Heavenly Father knew what was going to befall China. He knew there was going to be a Russia. He knew there was going to be an America. The Most High wasn't surprised when a so-called white man came to this side of the world. You think the Most High was up in the third heaven, taking it back? What are you doing? You left Mount Seir. Michael, Gabriel, stop him. No, the Most High knew that this thing was going down. He made the so-called white man take this land. And he created these missiles. And he created Nancy Pelosi. And he created Taiwan. He has set this whole thing up. This is the Most High's thing, man. This is not man's thing. This is Yahweh's program. At the end of the day, Basham Yahweh Shah. And he said, there's a vision that's for an appointed time. Right? World War III is for an appointed time. You understand? Missiles dropping upon nations is for an appointed time. Invasions is for an appointed time. And the Lord said, though it tarry, because it may seem like nothing's happening. You may have to go to work tomorrow. You may go through the motions again. Get up, set your alarm, drive to work, pump your gas, take your lunch break, go home, do God knows what, read, study, pray. And then you may have to do the thing the next day. And you're like, oh my God, nothing's happening. I see blood moon after blood moon. I keep seeing brothers talking about the end of the world and nothing's really happening. Well, the Lord said, though it tarry, wait for it. because it will surely come. And you got to believe that. The Lord said it will surely come. It will not tarry. I mean, it's going to start speeding up. It's going to start rolling. Like when you pushing the car, kind of start off slow, right? You kind of got to put it in damn first gear, and you got the guys in the back pushing it. Then you get that push, and next thing you know, you rolling, and you start off at 20, then you start off at 50, then you at 60, then you're a damn I-95, man. You know? Or that snowball effect. Speeds up with momentum as it goes downhill. That velocity goes, it increases, and things speed up. And that's the time you're living in, man. Things are happening. And if you can't see it, we'll show you. You got it, King.
This is a classic, Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9. And it reads, Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Right. So we already know, hey, the Lord is telling us, this is prophecy. The Lord telling us of these wars, right? These pestilences, the evils, the destruction, that these things are going to befall the earth before it happens, man. And it takes a man of faith to believe it. Like I said, like the brother said, you may go through the motions and you might, may not believe it, man. You may not really believe that, your great America won't be destroyed, man. Right. But the Lord is here to tell you thousands of years before it happened that it will happen, man. You understand? This is Job chapter 20 and verse 4. And it reads, Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Right. So the triumphing of the wicked is only short. The Lord has given the earth into the hand of the wicked. And he didn't say that you can have it now. You can be God now. I'm going to take a step back. No, man, it's only for a short amount of time. He's allowing you to kind of borrow this thing, allowing you to kind of do what you want. But soon it's going to be taken and given from one people to another, like it says in Sirach chapter 10, right? So the Lord says, hey, man, this thing, like the brother said, everything has a beginning and everything has an end. I'm going to get this to Jeremiah chapter 27. Right, this is Jeremiah chapter 27 and verse 5. Jeremiah 27 and 5, and it reads, I have made the earth, the man and the beast that are upon the ground, by my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it to whom it seemed meet unto me. So the Lord have created everything that we see on the earth, and he has given it to whoever he feels is meet, man. If he want to give it over to the Babylonians and Nebuchadnezzar, he's going to do that. If he want them to have for appointed time, then that's up to the Lord, man. If he want to give it over to the Persians and the Medes, the Greeks, the Greeks and Rome, he can do that, man. He want to give it to America, he can do that. And if he want to give it to Yahweh Shah and children of Israel forever, he can do that, man. What you got it, King?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, man. The Most High does not owe man anything. The Most High is running this, man. Right? He sets up kings and pulls down kings. He sets up rulers and puts down rulers. He set up Pharaoh. You think Pharaoh set himself up? The Lord put that spirit on Pharaoh, man. Even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might declare my power in thee, man. Paraphrasing. And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Right? I want to get this precept. This 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 37. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doth not move, nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. You see that? So the Most High said, by measure, he hath measured the times. And there was a time for you to come into this truth. It was a set year, set month, set week, set day, set hour, set second for you to hear this truth. Just like that, man. You think you randomly came across the truth? I was just on the internet. Some told me to click that button. It said recommended for you. And no, brother. Your Most High had you do that, man. He made you meet your woman when you wanted to meet that. When he wanted you to meet your woman, man. Right? The Most High had you come into this thing and acquire wisdom at his timeline. Right? And the Most High created all of these nations to go down now, man. Now I want to pull this up, King, where I want to show this. Slakia. Right? Bear with me. I want to pull this up so we can kind of show brothers that may not know what's going on, what's actually going on in this thing. So the first thing we'll address is what's going on with China, right? What's going on with China and Babylon the Great, right? Most High willing, things go down, right? Most High willing, things go down. So for brothers that may not know, or sisters, Nancy Pelosi, who's really, she's a somebody. She's not like a low-level Edomite. Nancy Pelosi is either third or fourth in a chain of command in any American in the country. There are 3 people or 2 people greater than Nancy Pelosi in America, and that's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right? And Nancy Pelosi is 3, some say 4. So she's a somebody. She's a big deal in America, man. She is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and her name carries weight. So she's on her way to and I actually had that put up so brothers could see this. This United States order of precedence, meaning the chain of command, right? So you got the president, Joe Biden, he's number 1, right? Then you have the vice president, Kamala Harris. You have your respective governors, but really it's not. Nancy Pelosi's over that. She's the Speaker of the House of Representatives, man. She's over the top judge. So she's pretty impactful in American society when it comes to the political world. And they treat her like a queen, man. She's essentially a princess. You know, ancient kings, you got your king, you got the queen, you got princesses, you got princess. She's essentially one of the like a princess in his kingdom, huh? So she's a somebody. You know, you got low-level guys that they're running for mayor, or people they're running to be over the 3rd district. She's above them, right? Now, what she's doing is she's on tour. She's on tour going out in Asia to American allies, right? She's going on tour in Asia to American allies. Now, one of her tourist destinations is Taiwan. Now, Taiwan is an American ally. For brother, just summing it up, and brothers that's not familiar with this information, dig more into it, right? Taiwan is an independent state. China says, no, you're not independent. You belong to us. China says, no, we're our own country. It's like if Taiwan said, no, we're our own country. China said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to hear that. You are part of our country. And if anybody goes to our country, which is Taiwan, then we're going to do what we have to do. Right now, you're going to find those exact words. I'm giving you verbatim, no, but I'm summing it up. I'm throwing salt on it so you can understand what's going on. You know, China's telling them, don't come around our way, if you can understand. America says, guess what? We're going to do what we want to do. China said, all right, well, if you come through, we're going to show a force. We're going to show military force. America said, bet, we'll see. Right? We'll see if you're bluffing. So America's actually going over there. And China has to act. If China doesn't act, it's going to look bad on China, and everybody's going to not respect China as a world power. So China can't not act. They have to act. And America can't not go, because if America lets China punk them out, then everybody's going to disrespect America. So America has to go. So now you got proud nation against proud nation, and something's got to give. Something has to give. And we know America, they said they're not backing out. She said she's going. Now, storylines can still unfold and things can happen, but as of now, she's on her way over there tomorrow. Now, China could pull out. China could say, look, we didn't mean that. We'll just shoot a missile in the air. We want to see what goes down. Right? Let me pull this up real quick. Right? Breaking alert. Right? This from earlier. China has stated, and we can corroborate this with multiple sources, but here's the information we're giving you. Right? You can say, well, I don't believe that article. Where's the Biblia? Well, look, you can find this anywhere. This is anywhere in global news where we're giving you. All right? China has stated it will not accept any excuses for Nancy Pelosi to land in Taiwan, including any kind of emergency. If problems with the plane occurred, they would allow landing in Hainan, not Taiwan. So they said, look, she can't land here for any reason. Rather, she has to refuel, or rather, she just came to buy a whatever, man, some rice. She is not allowed to land in Taiwan for any reason. That's essentially why. If you got something, you can bring it out. Make this your last point, or I'm gonna make one more point real quick. That's essentially like if you have a house and then you got a garage, right? Your house and your garage isn't connected, right? You got some man in your garage saying, "Well, this is my garage." This is China's mentality, and China's like, well, "Hold on, that's my garage. The garage technically is part of the house." And the man in the garage said, "Well, it's not really part of the house. I'm kind of separate from the house," and he's inviting your enemy over. The man in the garage is inviting your enemy over. What are you going to do, man? Are you going to sit there and say, well, maybe it's not my garage? Maybe my enemy could come over and plot against me and be right in my backyard. Or are you going to do what you have to do? Think about if you was in those shoes. If you had your enemy coming with guns to your garage, what are you going to do about it? You're going to have to make moves. Now, if you let this guy in your garage, he got you. He got you. And now you have become submissive and punked out and pacified, man. And he's going to invite more people into the garage. Then they're going to take over your house. And that's China's mentality, right? But you got it, King.
Con. Hey, Slack, and that kind of be happening sometimes, man. You may even on another example, you may damn let your brother stay at your crib. He may need somewhere to stay at your crib. Next thing you know, you kind of taking it over, man. Next thing you know, may ask politely, can my woman come? And you may be like, you don't really want her to come, but you may say sure. And then at that point, he didn't got you. Now next thing you know, and you come home from work and they getting high and drunk in your living room, man. Pretty much telling you to get out. Now they kind of took over, man. But I want to bring this precept out. This is a classic precept. This is Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Right? So the Lord is controlling these different kings of the earth, man. Right? The Lord is controlling all these people, these men, these women, China, Iran, Iraq, Babylon. The Lord is controlling these kings, and they're really just pawns, man. They're all chess pieces, and the Lord is being very strategic and kind of telling them where to go. So like the brother said, maybe it's died down, or maybe it don't. It's all up to the Heavenly Father, man. The Lord may have put the spirit on that woman to kind of say, look, I do what I want. And she kind of walk around Taiwan like she owned the place, man. And then the Lord put the spirit on China to kind of react, man. Most High willing. You understand? Get another precept. This is Revelation chapter 16 and verse, I'll start at 12. Revelation 16 and 12, and it reads, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And this is happening now. The great river Euphrates is drying up, pretty much already dried up as we speak. Right, verse 13. This is the point. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the great day of the God Almighty. Right, so these 3 spirits, and we know 3 is just a number of completion. It's hundreds of thousands, millions of spirits going to and fro throughout the earth, working on the minds of these rulers of the earth, and cause them to be at odds against one another, man. So the Most High God's plan can be played out, man. So the Lord got this 3 unclean spirits jumping on these men, jumping on these women, jumping on these rulers, and causing them to go to war, man. Causing them to have friction against one another, man, and to be at odds against one another, man. They're having a council in the heavens right now, man, plotting on these different countries. Right? You got it, King.
No, I mean, that's an excellent point, and I want to add to it because that's one of the most significant prophecies that are that can be applied to the times you're living in. That's what we labeled this. One part of the title says the kings of the east. Now, the kings of the, and we're going to touch on more of this. One of the top kings of the east is China. You're not going to find the word China in the Bible, right? Word upon word. You're not going to find the word America. You're not going to find ICBM missile. So the Bible has code words, right? For lack of better terms, it has code words. So only the men of the Lord and the righteous daughters of Zion who have been taught can understand what these words mean when they're broken down and deciphered. And the kings of the East is really a political and military alliance fueled by Russia, fueled by China, fueled by Iran, fueled by other allies, and they are one of the most dominant forces in global politics and military alliances to this day, man. Now, if you want to go into the kings of the East politically, it branches off into about three different groups, right? So the first thing I want to go to, right, Hawa kicked it off, is your RSII coalition, right? So your RSII coalition is your kings of the East. And this is just one faction of it, one subgroup, if you can understand. So Russia, Syria, Iran, and Iraq have an alliance called the RSII coalition, right? Formed September 15th. Here's your members: Russia, Syria, Iran, Iraq, right? And Hezbollah. So if one of these nations get involved in a major global conflict, then Syria, they'll get involved, or Russia or Iran or Iraq, they all have each other's back. It is not necessarily a monetary or financial alliance. It is a military alliance. Weapons, bombs. You understand? So here's your RSII alliance on the map. Right, now check this out. Why was it formed? For 2.5 decades, the Russian elite were split on Iran. Some, like Russian Minister Dmitry Medvedev, saw Iran as a bargaining chip and possible deals with the Western world. On the other hand, Eurasianists, like political analyst Alexander Dugin, wanted a Russian-Iranian alliance to counter Western influence. So they made this alliance to go against America and its allies. That's what they mean. So part of your kings of the East is your Russian, Syria, Iran coalition. Right? And I want to actually read that precept Hawa brought out again. Right? That's a mighty precept.
I had just one point for you.
Go ahead, King. You got it, King.
And the kings of the East is this. I don't know if you was gonna touch on it, but the kings of the East is the same thing we read Jeremiah about the North country. So it's not just king of the East because the Lord got a cool name from them. They're literally the kings of the east of Jerusalem. You got the North country, which would be north. You understand? So north of Babylon. You understand? So that's ancient Babylon, which is Iraq. So that's why there's a North country, and this is in the Revelations of the King of the East. But it's essentially the same people.
And we're going to pull that up, right? We're going to pull all that up. Salakia, let me, I want to go back to this. I want to pull this up on the world map so, brothers can actually see that. So this is Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, right? Working miracles. So the so-called white man, what he's doing, to add to what Hawad was saying, is there are spirits being issued out from this system, right? Political demons, you understand? Or demons working through politics, demon working through finances, demons working through these Edomites to stir up these nations, provoke them, and antagonize them, or by any means to get them ready for World War III. And Nancy Pelosi, she has one of these frogs on her, man. She has one of these demons on her, stirring up these nations for Armageddon, man. Biden, you understand? Putin, they all have a demon on them right now, and that's one of those spirits, right? And it reads, Salakia. I'm going to jump to 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So you have your RSII coalition. You also have, let's pull this up. I had it. Your Shanghai Corporation Organization, right? Now, this is more so of the political side of things. Who's involved? China, the People's Republic of China. Who else is involved in this coalition? Right? The Russian Federation, Russia, they're involved in this. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, India, Pakistan, they all have a common interest in the global market and common goals. So you have to think about how wars play off. When one, usually 9 times out of 10, when one nation is involved in war, the other nations, they have investments in that country. So if China loses, Russia loses, because Russia banks on them for particular resources, right? Influence. It can be gold, money, whatever they have deemed, whatever they have accepted China for, and the goal of making them an ally. If China loses war, Russia loses out on something. Kazakhstan loses out on something. The Kyrgyz Republic, Uzbekistan. So their job is to protect their interests that they have in these countries, politically, financially, militarily, right? Philosophically. So they have to help one another in war. That's the purpose of diplomatics or diplomacy, right? You have a nation, you have something I like, I have something you like, and let's come to an agreement on common principles to protect one another. And you can see that happening. One of China's biggest allies is Russia. One of Russia's biggest allies is China. So you have to think about the what I'll use this word, the dirt that America's digging himself in, man. I want to get this precept in Sirach, the 8th chapter, real quick. Right? This is Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 8 and verse, I'll start at, this Ecclesiasticus chapter 8, let's start at 15. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee, for he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. So America is a bold fellow. They don't really give a damn. Here you have China doing military drills as we speak. They're telling you, now it could be all talk. They could just be, words of vanity, but they're telling you if she comes, we're going to do things. We're going to make things happen. America said, hey, guess what? We're bold. We don't give a damn. Well, the Lord said, travel not with a bold fellow. Don't link up with America. Because at the end of the day, America doesn't care about England or France or China. Because guess what? Article 5 of NATO says if one NATO ally gets involved in war, all NATO allies are involved in war. So if America gets off war with China, that's going to become grievous unto the rest of NATO. England, Spain, Italy, Greece, and now all those countries are in war. This is bigger than America, Taiwan, and China. You have to think about the domino effect and the repercussions that America is involving the entire world in, man. One false move. China knows if they press that button, World War III is here. And America knows that. Right? But you got it, King.
John, I got a precept on that.
Con.
Yeah, because like the brother's saying, and it's kind of like, almost like gangs. Gangs, stuff. I mean, turf, people warring over turf and territories. And even when you got a gang, you may have some gangs to like close, where they might say like, we're on 103rd, and once we from 103rd to 105th. Once you go to 106, that's a completely different territory. But it's always somebody from 106 to say, look, I don't give a damn.
Right.
Not only will I go on 103rd, I'll damn I don't know, throw a party over there or something, man.
Right.
They end up getting shot up.
Right.
You know why do you do that? Like you say, he's that bold fellow. You know, but America also, like I said, is games. So sometimes America, well, not sometimes, a lot of times America, they put their faith in NATO and EU. They know NATO and the EU kind of got their back, at least for now. You know,
Right.
but they believe that NATO and the EU, you know, they got their back. They're gonna be there with them. They're gonna rock out with them. You know, they don't, of course, know the prophecies like that. You know, on the level we do, but they believe that they're gonna have their back forever. And this reminds me of this precept. This is 2 Maccabees 12 and verse 12. And it reads, Then Judas, thinking indeed that they would be profitable in many things, granted them peace, whereupon they shook hands, and so they departed to their tents. He went also about to make a bridge to a certain strong city, which was fenced about with walls, and inhabited by people of diverse countries, and the name of it was Caspis. Right. So Judas is about to, you know, go to this great city. He building a bridge to get there. Verse 14. But they that were within it put such trust in the strength of the walls and provision of victuals that they behaved themselves rudely towards them that were with Judas, railing and blaspheming and uttering such words as it were not to be spoken. Right. So the people in this great city, they had so much trust in the walls that they was kind of scoffing, man. You know, they was kind of talking, you know, kind of crazy and blasphemous towards Judas and his army because they had trust in that wall. They feel like they was going to be protected. You know, that's the same thing. America, they put trust. They have trust that, you know, NATO and EU. Like, even Isaiah 47 says she's the queen. She don't believe that she's ever going to, you know, come down, man. So they got trust in their military might, their power. You understand? They got trust in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and they don't believe that they'll ever fall, man. You know, so they may pull up, man. They may talk their mess, talk their trash until they get destroyed, man. Right? Reading on, it says that they behaved themselves rudely towards them that were with Judas, railing and blaspheming and uttering such words as were not to be spoken. Wherefore Judas with his company, calling upon the great Lord of the world, who without any rams or engines of wars did cast down Jericho in the time of Joshua, gave a fierce assault against the walls. So the Lord means like it. So Judas Maccabees basically say, hey, look, you know, we'll tear down the walls and kill you on the other side of the walls without anything. The Lord can, you know, just snap his fingers and put you guys to death, which he did. But the point is, they trusted in the walls, man. And you understand that, hey, you can't trust it. Just like we can't put our trust in America. America can't put their trust in anything carnal either, man. You're going to be destroyed, man. Babylon will fall, man. You can put your trust in whatever you want, but at the end of the day, the Lord going to destroy it.
God. And America has always had that spirit, right? That's why in Daniel chapter 7 and verse 19, it reads, Then would I know the truth of the fourth beast. The fourth beast is the Roman Empire. America is the greatest province of the Roman Empire, really a revived Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire consists of NATO, right? And, well, really NATO and the EU, right? That's your Roman Empire. And America is part of NATO. So reading on. Then would I know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. Because America has been beaten and oppressing, or Rome, every nation that they've come encounter with. Huh? Reading on. And if the 10 horns that were in his head, that's your European Union. And of the other which came up, what's the other that came up? America. Even of Slakia, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. So America has a different look than these other European countries, man, or European countries in general. They have a different look than Canada, right? They have a different look than France, right? Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. That's written, man. So when it comes to making moves, America, they don't give a damn, man. They don't care about what you have going on, how many children they have to kill, how many children they have to sell in a sex trafficking ring, how much gold they have to steal from you, oil. If they set their eyes upon you, they'll take it, man. Now I want to pull this up real quick. This the ad that we'll be going to. Here's what they're showing now. Right? This is from Disclosed TV. There's a TV tower in Moscow, right? We know Moscow is the capital of Russia. Now look at what they're showing. They're saying on this tower, right? Let me see if this plays out. This reads, China, Russia is with you. Right? This is what all the citizens are seeing in Moscow. On the verge of Nancy Pelosi's visit, the citizens of Moscow are being told, and the world essentially is being told, hey, guess what, China? If America comes down and they want to act funny, we got your back. We got them things on us, man. Right? Don't worry about it. If y'all don't press that button, we'll press that button. And America sees that. They see this. China is being told Russia is with you. That's a TV tower in Moscow. You know? So these things, this thing is heating up, man. This thing is getting real. This is from Newsweek.com. Right? From a few hours ago, Taiwan mobilizes military for war as China threatens Nancy Pelosi. So soldiers, colonels, lieutenants, generals, they're literally on the edge of their seat. Now, from what I've been told, I'm not sure if you got more information on it or not, that she has a meeting with Taiwan, I believe, tomorrow morning. It's either tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. I believe that's our time, East Coast time, if I'm not mistaken. But from what I've been told, right, she plans on talking to these guys in Taiwan tomorrow. And China knows everybody's on the edge of their seat right now. Now, you got some jakes who talking about the NBA finals. They're still talking about Steph Curry. They're talking about Jordans, and they're doing TikToks and making memes and being comedians. And then you have the men of the Lord going into the prophecies, man. You know? Now, I'm not going to play this video. You can go on newsweek.com and check it out on your own. I may play the video. We'll see. Right? So it says Taiwan has reportedly, and this is Nancy Pelosi, for those who don't know. Right? See if we can get this to play. And for what up? Okay, Salaki, let me see if there's some sound on this. Before we play this, from what I've also been told, oh boy, Salakia, is that they actually told her, don't go. Originally, she wasn't going to go, but she said, I have to do this for my country. They said, don't go. If you go, then you may start war. She said, my country needs us. So, I mean, the Most High is going to have these chips fall where they may. Let me see if I can get some sound on this. Slocky, bear with me. I may have to get this thing rolling. See that? She's the highest ranking U.S. politician that would visit Taiwan. So she's a big deal. See, brother, a lot of brothers don't really know how big of a deal she is in the eyes of the Americans. We really, Israel, we don't give a damn, right? But in terms of American politics, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small, Sirach 5:15. I mean, she's a somebody. When she talks, people listen. You can understand. When she walks into a room, people that kind of turn around and see what she has to say. So she's on her way to Taiwan right now, huh? See that? Hold on, let me see if I can go back. Damn, I'm gonna just leave it alone. All right. China urged Pelosi not to visit Taiwan, threatening to take strong measures. And I mean, they said it, so they have to live up to it. Now, again, like Kawad said, they could back out and they could say, look, they could just fire a rocket. Right? We're not saying World War III is going to kick off tomorrow. But if they do something drastic, like shoot her plane down, or her life is injured or harmed or worse or killed, we have no doubt in our mind that Congress is going to declare war. Here you have the Speaker of the House of Representatives whose life has been taken away from her. We have no doubt in our mind that that's an act of war. So we now we don't know how it's going to go. They could just shoot a rocket or shoot left and try to scare us, say, look, we showed our force. But China, if you're a Moabite and you're watching this, we got 3 words for you, man. Right? If you're the king of China or you're the speaker guy, press the button, man. Stop playing and press the button. Shoot our plane down, man. Just shoot it down. Stop saying what you're going to do and do it. It says the Most High is a God of knowledge, and by him, actions are weighed. You got something, Hawad?
Come, man. Hey, China, according to Isaiah 16:6, Moab is proud, man. So he may make a proud move, man. He's not gonna allow somebody just to. They say that nobody on her rank has visited Taiwan since 1997, I believe. So that's how they know not to go there. You understand? But she kind of testing the waters, man. And Moab is a proudful nation. They supposed to kind of make something happen. That's what I'm gonna bring this out. Jeremiah chapter 50, and I kind of want to do the whole chapter, but I'm gonna read verse 22 first. Jeremiah 50 and 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Right, so it's a sound of battle, man. The trumpet it's been blown for years. The trumpet is being blown, moves, and it's good that we go into articles, we show videos like this, because a lot of times Jake think we just talking. We just, okay, they're gonna bring out Jeremiah 50 again for 50th time. They think this is a game. So you gotta, kind of remind Jake and let Jake know, hey, this thing is real, man. Things are, really happening around the earth, man.
That's right.
It said, hey, they're gonna take strong measures, man. It's not a bluff. Nobody's always playing, So hey, war is coming, man. It's time for Jake and Eve to take heed to that, man, and take heed to the Most High Yahweh. Bashem Yahushua.
Come. Quick precept. Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 11. Moab hath been at ease from his youth, and he hath not settled on his leaves, and hath not been emptied from vessel to vessel. So, meaning China, they haven't really been affected like Japan. Like Japan got bombed in World War II, man. Right? Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Fat Boy and Little Man, atomic bombs wasted Japan, man. Made them desolate. China hasn't really, they've had small minor wars and little things, but they haven't been touched, man. So they have to have proud spirit like America. Right? The world is telling them, gassing them up, how they say, man, making them believe that they're the next global power. They're proud, man. We have the most people. Well, nobody, you don't have to. First of all, Israel has the most people, man. We're as the sand of the sea. That can't be measured nor numbered. But now these Moabites are proud, man. They think that they have the greatest, highest population. They're the smartest in math, the greatest in all manner of science. And these Moabites are proud, man. So they believe they're oppressing Jake. They're feeding. I saw a video. It was a cat zipped up in a or vacuumed in a vacuum sealed bag, man. You know, feeding Jake, cat, and dog in the hood. They haven't been touched, and that's what Jeremiah 47, it's like 48 and 11 is going into. I'm gonna read it again. Moab hath been at ease from his youth, and he hath settled on his lees, and hath not been emptied from vessel to vessel. Neither hath he gone into captivity, therefore his taste remained in him, and his scent is not changed. So meaning you feeling yourself. That's what the Most High said. The Moabite man, he's feeling himself right now. He's talking that talk, man. You know, he's feeling confident in his military. He's feeling confident in his bombs. He's feeling confident that Taiwan belongs to him, man. Right, let's read on. Jeremiah, I'm going to jump down. Chapter 48. And I'm going to jump to... Actually, I'm gonna hold that one. Right, I'm gonna hold that one. But I'm gonna play the rest of this video. Right, I'm gonna play the rest of this, and we're gonna show you China in the Bible, man. Right, in Taiwan, we'll go into these things. See that? So things are heating up, man. Taiwan has reportedly mobilized its air defense forces in preparation for war, as the U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's possible visit to the island continues to inspire warnings from China. Right? The mobilization of Taiwan's forces was reported Monday by SCT News, a news channel in the East Asian island. SCT reported that in response to Nancy Pelosi's purported visit, Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense halted the leave of some officers and soldiers, as well as had its air defense forces begin readying for potential conflict with China. You see that? So this thing is getting real, man. And remember, Nancy Pelosi, she's not showing up as just one individual, meaning by herself. You have United States forces, Air Force, and military behind her, going deep. That's like somebody, like we keep using the analogy. I mean, you got 400 men, and you just go into somebody's house, man. Right? You have people that rent out rooms in their house, but the house still belongs to them, and a guy shows up with 400 guys deep, man, and they just walking all in your crib. That's what America's doing to China. And China, they're not going for that. Right? They are not going for that. Right? End time headlines. Again, Taiwan urges soldiers to immediately prepare for war. Right? Immediately prepare for war, because again, if Nancy Pelosi, and we are praying to Yahweh Bashmi Awashad, right? That what? That her plane gets hit by the fattest, hottest missile, huh? Right? And we wake up, most are willing in the morning, and we see, or something happened to him, huh? Or or some things happen. The Most High touch it. We'll leave it at that. We want the Most High to touch it. Right? We want to see a fight. You know how these kids in the school, they're like, fight, fight, fight. And then people are like, oh, they ain't going to fight. And people kind of walk off. You got guys that fight in the world and they square up for 35 minutes, man. You know? And people are waiting to see this thing go down, man, of the world. And that's how we're looking at China and America. They've been talking and pushing. but nobody's swinging, man. So I mean, eventually somebody's gonna have to swing.
Hey, Salakia, and then in them damn school fights, man, you know about it early, man. They might have had at the damn cafeteria. We all just waiting for 3 o'clock for that ring. Every word going around the whole entire school. Everybody in the school know that damn Earl and Day about to fight after school, man. Right? Damn school.
Right.
How do you know it? So this is right now. We waiting for the alarm to go off. We left waiting for the alarm to go, and everybody's rushing. Soon, people never left school so quick when it's time for a fight.
Right.
And that's us right now, man. We're spreading the word. Right? You're spreading the word. Everybody gossiping about the big fight. And, hey, they know that they cannot back down. Everybody know at this point. At this point, everybody didn't know about it. You know, everybody talking about it. People kind of gossiping. I think they gonna win. I think Earl, he used to box back in it. But all this, man. You know, and so now it's go time, man. And that's kind of how we are on a spiritual level, where we gossiping about it, man. Everybody's gossiping about it, you know, on the right hand side. We kind of talking about it. We spreading the news to let people know, hey, these people about to fight, man. And it's almost 3 o'clock, man.
Hey, man, and add to that, man, you know, people show up the next day talking about what happened because they missed out, man. They wasn't paying attention. And everybody's talking about the big fight that happened between Earl and Day, and you missed out. Or you decided to skip school. You know, or you was just freaking off, man. And you missed out on a big event, man. And a lot of brothers are going to miss out on a big event because right now they're watching Sports Center. They're watching Baby Boy on BET for the 1,000th time. Right? They're making TikToks. Jake, I mean, you're doing God knows what, man. You're on that nasty search bar, lusting, while the Monday Night Live or the fire is rolling, man. So you can't miss out on this thing, man. Nobody watching the live should be saying what's happening between China and Taiwan. What's going on? What are these guys going into? China? What does China have to do with America? Well, you can only say that if you just came into this thing. But if you've been in this thing, then you should know what's going on, man. Right? This thing shouldn't have taken you off guard because you were already watching, or at least you should have been. Right? And if you haven't been watching, this is to stir up that spirit to get you to watch more, man, and see and pay attention to these global events that you may prepare yourself and your household for the judgment to come on the earth. Right? This is Jeremiah 48. It's like I want Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 29. It reads, "We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceeding proud, his loftiness and his arrogancy and his pride and the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, saith Yahweh, but it shall not be so. His lies shall not so affect it." So the Most High said he knows Moab, man. The haughtiness, the loftiness, the arrogancy, the pride. The Most High said Moab is exceeding proud because they believe that they're going to cut down Babylon the Great and be the next global power forever. They don't acknowledge the Most High, right? They don't acknowledge anybody but themselves, and they believe they're going to take over this world, right? And then again, this is from a few hours ago. There's a USS carrier called the Ronald Reagan operating near Taiwan. U.S. Navy carrier enters South China Sea. So remember, she's not going solo. She's going with a Navy. U.S. warships keep watch. See, that's the spirit, man. What do you think they're doing when they're keeping watch? You think these Navy guys are down there playing goldfish, you know, or doing push-ups? What do you think they're doing on these U.S. carriers, man, and submarines? You think they're damn playing Monopoly? No, they had those binoculars, right? And they're on that radar. They're watching that little beep radar. You know what I'm talking about, that little radar, and it shows the ships coming in, right? And they're watching, and one guy falls asleep, but the next guy is up. Then that guy goes to sleep, and the next guy is up, and they work shifts, and they're watching to see what China's going to do. And they report diligently, man. They say, look, 3 kilometers north, we see a Chinese ship moving 3 kilometers north. Now they're moving 3 kilometers west. And they write it down. So the so-called white man, he's watching. Shouldn't you be watching? We should all be watching, man. If Esau, who's the damn devil, is watching, and he's keeping watch, and we got to keep watch, man. So Chinese U.S. warships keep watch amid tensions over Pelosi Taiwan visit, man. So this thing is getting real. So in the perfect scenario, she lands, goes to Taiwan. China, they try to shoot down her plane. They miss, right? The U.S. warship shoots down the blows up the Chinese ship. China fires back, blows up that ship. The Air Force goes and drops bombs on their carriers, and now you have World War III. So we're on the edge of our seat, man. We're literally on the edge of our seat, hoping things go off. Now, the Most High he could stir things up and kind of calm things down. I'm gonna make one more point real quick, because a lot of brothers see this and then they go in their closet and they look for their garment, man. Right? All hell breaking loose. Let me help and get right. So they dig in their closet, they find a garment, they shake off all the dust, and they put their garment on like they're a man of the Lord, man. Or the sisters see this, oh, it's going down. So they go find their dress, they take their damn skinny jeans off and put their dress on and tie their head wrap back up and work on their shalom and pretend that they're a righteous daughter of Zion, man. When they was just freaking off 5 minutes ago. The Most High sees that. You can't play the Most High. You can't just hop in this thing because you see all hell breaking loose, man. Right? You putting the blood down. oh, hell breaking loose. And you put your damn blood down and try to get into the truth now, man. Let me go find my garment. And you pause the video and you go in your closet and find your garment, man, from 3 years ago. You know? The Lord isn't dealing with that, man. But you got it, King.
Con, I just had a precept on these battleships, man. Right? It says this is Revelation chapter 8, and it reads Revelation 8 verse 8, and it reads, and the second angel sounded as it were a great mountain burning with fire. Right, that great mountain is the missiles, burning with fire, cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. And we know third, you should think completion. The third part of the sea being the nations, according to Revelation 17 and 15, 2 Samuel 22 and 4 and 5. You got Isaiah 17 and 12, many precepts. So the sea represents the nations. It says, Revelation 8 and 8, and the second angel sounded as it were a great mountain burning with fire, cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life and died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. Right, so you got ships in these things, submarines, like the brother said, warships. You got these vehicles in the sea, and the Lord gonna destroy them too, man. They gonna be a part of that thing, man. You know, they gonna be a part of that World War III. They gonna be letting missiles off from these ships, man. Like I said, the beeping noise underneath the sea. You kind of tracking down where the other submarine where the enemy is. Hey, the Bible covers World War III from many different angles, man. You understand? You got it, King.
Con. I mean, that's absolutely right, man. Right? So I want to pull this up. Right? BRICS Alliance is another alliance between Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. I believe Iran and other nations are looking to join BRICS. So Brazil, it's like here, Russia and China, they have multiple alliances. They're like peanut butter and jelly, man. You know, they're like cereal and milk, man. They go hand in hand. 2 peas in a pod. Whatever you want to say, man. They're like Jonathan and David on the left hand side. And if Russia needs something, Russia's literally, no, China didn't have to tell them to do that. They're posting in their capital, China, Russia, we're with you. We got your back. So that they go hand in hand, man. Look at them. Vladimir Putin, and I can't remember the king of China's name. I have a hard time pronouncing it. They're holding hands. They're best friends. They probably talk on the phone, man, and smoke a cigar together. And they're about their business, man, on the left-hand side. But I'm gonna pull this up, King. You got it real quick. I want to find this video I gotta pull up.
Come. I get precept. Back to Jeremiah 50. This thing is
get this video. Salakia.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9. And it reads, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations, man, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be broken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain." Right. So the Lord got these countries, hey, even NATO and EU gonna turn it back on America, man. Read about that in Revelation 17, man. The north country, the kings of the east, right? Hey, NATO and the EU, all these Russia, China, Iraq, Iran, all these mighty countries are gonna make war against Babylon the Great. They was literally set up to destroy her, man. And it says, "Their arrows should be as a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain." And this arrows, the Bible is an ancient book. It's not, literal arrows. You kind of pull it. It's talking about missiles. Missiles are all throughout the Bible, man. Let me get a precept on that. This is Psalm 7. This is Psalm chapter 7 and verse 13, man. This is Psalm chapter 7 and verse 13, and it reads, like, here we go. The wrong book. This is Psalm chapter 7 and verse 19. John, and it reads, "He that says he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood." Right. So the point is 13. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Right. So this the instruments of death are them ICBM missiles. It's not the ancient world where you kind of ride on a literal horse and you kind of pull back your arrow and you close one eye so you can get a good aim. You're not going to do that, man. Now the arrow is the missiles. That's what's going to shoot at the north country. You're not going to be a bunch of damn arrows with shields. Next you know, you look up and you see a bunch of arrows kind of in your front yard, man. Bow and arrows. No, it's going to be missiles hitting Babylon the Great, man. Right? You say in books speaking of prophetic things. You got it, King.
No, I don't want to cut you off. I was going to say, right, the Lord said in Daniel 12 and 3 on down that knowledge shall be increased. And when you're reading these prophecies, you have to remember that these men lived in the ancient times, and the visions and the things that they saw, they weren't familiar with the verbiage and words and vernacular that we have grown accustomed to. So David didn't know anything about what an ICBM missile was. You're not going to read Psalms. The Lord has prepared intercontinental ballistic missiles. He didn't know what that term was. John didn't know what a nuclear launch pad was or the war helicopters. They didn't know what these terms were. But as we begin to grow in the spirit of Yahweh Bashmah, who enlightens and enlarges our heart, then we can see modern day technology and modern day things and now find it in the Bible. Like Hawad said, the Bible is a living book, man. This is living, it's speaking. The Most High said the Spirit speaketh expressively. Or in 2nd Ezra, let me get this precept real quick. And I want to pull this video up of Moab, right? This 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. So the books are being opened, right? Meaning the understanding of the Bible and the various books that are within it from Genesis to Revelation is now being made manifest to the Most High's children, right? Or the children of Israel, the elect of Israel, right? So you have to understand that what Hawad is going into, he went into the submarines, right? You can go in the Bible and find missiles, launch pads, rocket propelled grenades. The Lord said in let me get another one real quick. The Lord calls them flying swords, right? In 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 41. Fire and hail and flying swords, and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities. How can a flying sword break down the city? I've never seen it. I've never seen a man. This has to be a hell of a sword, right? To take your sword, throw it, and they can just break down a whole city. What are flying swords? Flying swords are missiles. Flying swords are intercontinental ballistic missiles, atomic bombs. What else? What are they called? I can't think of the exact term, but it's just a missile, right? There's another term I'm looking for, but we'll just use the word missile. But the Lord calls it flying swords because as Ezra's writing this, he's seeing his vision and he's trying to find the best way to describe it, right? You know? So if you were reading this and what? During the time of Yahushua, or you were reading this in 100 AD, you would have no idea what these flying swords are. Imagine reading this and not knowing what missiles are. How would you break down flying swords? But the Lord said, knowledge shall be increased. So fire and hail and flying swords. Verse 42. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood, grass of the meadows, and their corn, and they shall go steadfastly into Babylon and make her afraid. So these clouds, these aerial vehicles, are going to be shooting out flying swords. So China has flying swords. America has flying swords. Russia, they have flying swords. You know, but you got it, King.
Khan, land me back off what you want to say. You know, all these our forefathers, all these different prophets, these men of the Lord, they all trying to describe the same event, man. You know, right. Different place, and you know, like you said, I don't know. You know, you think about thousands of years ago, you're like, I don't know what that was. Shooting star. You know, one may say a star, may say a flying sword, may say a arrow. You're just trying to describe it to your best ability, man. You know, right. It's them John the Revelator trying to describe this phone we on, man, or this laptop. Like he had a rock and he kind of was talking into the rock, and he's, you know, you kind of just describe it to your best ability. But this is Esdras chapter 16 and verse 13, and it reads, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow; his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." Right? Arrows can't be shot into the end. Literal arrows cannot be shot to the end of the world. They're not gonna make it that far, man. No man can kind of bend that arrow and shoot it from them Africa all the way to America, man. It ain't gonna make it. Right? That's missiles that's being shot to the end of the world. I got you one more precept. This is Psalms. I know you got a video. This is Psalms 58, verse 6. And it reads, "Break their teeth, O Yahweh, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh." Right. So break their teeth means take away their power, because nations are likened unto beasts throughout the Bible. Right. And Esau is that lion. You know, now Israel, we're the lion too, but more just in a different way. We're the lion in terms of you know, we're kings, we're majestic, you know, we're the king of the jungle. You know, but Esau is a lion in terms of that lion in terms of he devour us. He got the great teeth that kind of bite us down. He oppress us. The Lord say, break their teeth, mean take away their strength, their might, their military power. Verse 7, "Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrow, let them be as cut in pieces." Right. So he want them, when he bend the bow, he want them to be cut in pieces and to be melted. You can't be melted by arrows, man. Only can be melted by ICBM missiles, man, by nuclear fire.
I mean, you can't get around it, right? I mean, you can't get around that. You have people that, like I said, they say the Bible is not relevant. What does the Bible serve us in the year 2022? Why do you guys read the Bible? Right? Well, we're showing you, man. We're reading about modern day. You can ask your top scholar and your top Ivy League professor about intercontinental ballistic missiles, and they'll say, yes, that's a real thing. And we're showing you in the Bible, right? The Lord calls it the waster in Isaiah 54:16, Isaiah 9:5. The Lord said, this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. You have many, the Lord said he's going to melt people. Let me get that real quick. The Lord said he's going to melt people. What weapon can melt somebody? Right? This is Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 20. As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. So when you melt something, you liquefy it. How is the Lord going to melt people? What weapon in the time of Ezekiel around 597 BC, circa that time, could melt somebody? Right? They didn't have modern day warfare, nah. They had bows, shields, arrows, bucklers, bulwarks, siege towers. So what can Ezekiel see hitting people for them to melt? Verse 21, Ezekiel 22 and 21. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath. Does that mean the Most High is going to literally, come on, Israel? He gathered them in a big circle. You see big lips from the third heaven. And he blows fire on them. Is that what it's talking about? Right? And all of the Israelites, no, man. You can't read this Bible like an old nasty white man. You gotta get into this thing. That's hip talk, man. Right? The Most High said, yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. And so guess what? The Most High is going to melt people, man. Literally, you're going to get liquefied. Turn from a solid to a liquid. It's going to be just a puddle of your residue, man. And you're going to people going to be running from the missiles. They stepping in your damn puddle, right? And they just moving past you, man. Till they get hit by a missile. And the whole land is going to be damn soaked with the blood of the evil men. You know, but let me play this video real quick, King Salaki. I know you got a preset. Right? So this is make sure it's showing. This is a quick video as Pelosi makes to enter Taiwan against objection by China. The Chinese military released this video as visual show of force. So I mean, they're about to show you what they plan on doing. Right? So check out what China's bringing out. See, the Moabites, man, they're putting that video out to stir up those people for war, man. They're putting that video out to stir up their people for war. And you saw the arrows. I'm going to play it one more time. You saw the arrows of the Lord. Well, let me play this again one more time. See, you see the jet shooting out those missiles or whatever. Those are the flying swords. So what Ezra saw, we read early in 2nd Ezra chapter 15 about flying swords. When you see those jets and they're flying at speeds close to the speed of sound and shooting off those missiles. Those are the flying swords in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And those are the arrows, right? You saw them launch off. Those are the arrows. And where they launch from, that's the bow. So rather they launch from the back of a vehicle, or rather they launch from a launch pad. The launch pad is the bow, and a projectile that shoots off is the missile or the arrow. And, see that? Right? All hell, Most High willing, breaks loose, man. Right? And we're looking at this live. Right? We got men on the inside hitting that refresh bar, sending us stuff live, man. So when we see some breaking news, hey, we'll go into it, man. The Lord said, let me get this quick precept. Oh, Hawaii, I know you got something.
Oh, Slocky. Yeah, I was.
You got it, King.
Yeah, I was gonna go into Zechariah 14.
This
is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. Right, going into the Lord milking people. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all that have fought Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Right, so you're gonna be melted, man. That missile hit, when that mushroom cloud goes and that fire spread throughout the country, throughout the world. Hey man, your eyes gonna melt in your socket, man. Tongue melt in your mouth. That's nuclear fire, man. While you melt, while you still stand. They show you that in movies, man. They show you that in movies where people melt while they stand on their feet, and the only thing got left is their damn shoes. They're still standing.
right.
That's it.
Right.
And you blow away in the wind, man. You understand? That's going to happen in war. It's going to happen to a lot of people, man. Pretty much everybody here in America that's not an Israelite will be destroyed, man. You know, and then 2/3 of our people are destroyed, man. So it's a lot of death. Every nation in Babylon is put to death according to Revelation chapter 11, and then the 2/3 also put to death. A lot of death on the earth, man. A lot of people get milked by the missiles. And this is World War III, really like the icing on the cake, you know. So if you even make it, like, so I can bring this out, like it says in 2nd Ezra 5:1, if you even make it this far, man, you may die way before this thing happen, man. Soon as the Lord can have it to where as soon as damn Jacob's shovel kick off, you the first one to die. You the first one to go. You never had a chance. This is 2nd Ezra 5:1. And it reads, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, meaning the signs, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that which thou hast heard long ago. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again, and in the night, and in the moon thrice in the day. Right. So if the Most High grants you to, even make it this far, you may have you may have a chance, but you may not even make it to damn World War III, man. A lot of people gonna die in, a lot of men gonna die in war. Women gonna be, like I said in 2nd Ezra, women gonna be pretty much left out there on their own, because they're nobody to guard them. Because that day Eve, it's kind of off topic, but that day Eve gonna need a husband more than ever before, man. Because Eve, she kind of proud now, women, they got all their so-called rights. They don't even need no protection. America is safe right now. But in that day, you're gonna want a man on your side. But if you die in damn war, and just a bunch of women running around, you're gonna get kind of snatched up.
Huh? And I'm gonna go to this link real quick. So you see these things happen now. You see what's going on. You see war on the brink, and there's more going on. There's a lot that has happened today, right? You have Creepy Joe, who is telling America that they have killed one of the top Ishmaelites, right? They just assassinated him. Evidently, reports are coming out that they just assassinated the top man of Al Qaeda, right? And that's a big deal, man. That's a big deal in the world, in the grand scheme of things. Now, let me pull this up. This is from the U.S. Sun, right? The U.S. Sun, it reads, words, war of words, right? Let me get this in Jeremiah chapter 50, right? Surprised we didn't bring this one out yet. This is the classic. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. And that's what you call war drums. In ancient warfare, before armies met each other with sword to sword, you have men beating the drums. Or we as a people, we would blow the shofar, right? The officers, or really the Levites, the priests, as they led the war, they would actually blow the trumpet, right? Let me get this precept real quick. This is the book of Salakia. Let me get this precept. Right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 20 and 2. And this shall be when ye are come nigh into the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. Right, so the Most High had the priest pronounce those words into the people, and as we went to war, you have the trumpets blowing, man. You have prayer and trumpets blowing, and other nations, they will have their priests out there, those men, and they'll be beating that drum. So when the Lord said in Jeremiah 50 and 22, and really in the ancient world, when you heard those war drums or you heard that trumpet blow, you knew it was wartime. The Lord said in 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, if the trumpet shall blow an uncertain sound, who will prepare himself to the battle? Because you knew when that certain alarm went off, it was an alarm for war. And that was the sound of battle in the ancient times. The priest would take that trumpet and blow it, hit a particular note, and that would be a sound of battle. So all of the men of the city know, gird up your loins, take your sword, and go fight against the enemy. So we don't have actual drums and actual trumpets. The trumpet we're blowing right now is the spiritual trumpet. The spiritual trumpet are these breakdowns, these warnings, these prophecies, the lives, the street teachings, right? Going out and letting you know that a sound, that World War III is about to kick off, man. And that's the sound of battle that's in the land. When you hear about China ready to blow up Nancy Pelosi, that's a sound of battle. When you hear about Babylon the Great killing Ishmaelites, that's a sound of battle. So the Lord said in Jeremiah 50 and 22, again, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. So this says war of words. China's chilling war signal heard during meeting as country holds military drills near Taiwan. You see that? And these are the ships and the military drills going on. So here you have the U.S. 7th Fleet pushing closer and closer, right, to Taiwan. And then you have Taiwan, right? And you have Chinese warships meeting them halfway. You know, so this thing, you see how close they are in proximity to one another. And the world is begging them not to start World War III. Singapore, Malaysia, other countries are begging America and China not to start World War III. And it's only a matter of hours to see what China's going to do. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? Are they going to blow up these missiles? Are they going to wait, or are they going to do it tomorrow? Because evidently China, it's like she's supposed to be meeting with this guy, the top man of Taiwan. I have to pull his name up again tomorrow. I believe Tuesday at 10 a.m. That's the word going out, right? Rather it's 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., but I believe they say 10 a.m. I'm going to pull up the sources again, you know? But we're praying that this thing kick off. You got it, King.
This is
I'm going to find this.
10 first. This is Numbers chapter 10 and verse 8, right? Going to the trumpets, man. This is Numbers 10 and verse 8. And it says, and the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance, forever throughout your generations. And if you go to war in your land against the enemies that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. Right? So you time to go to war, man. You blow a trumpet, man. The Lord said, Isaiah 58, lift up your voice like a trumpet, man. Like I said, we are now the trumpet, right? We're letting the people know war is coming, right? We're the watchmen, we sit on the walls, we blow the trumpet, we give the alarm, and brother quoting 1 Corinthians 14, you have to get the right sound, man. Because if you get a wrong sound, they may think it's the new moon. It's time to celebrate. They may think that it's time to congregate together. They may think anything, man. Right? And Numbers 10 goes to a bunch of different sound of alarms and trumpets for different things, man. So you gotta get out the right sound, and that's what we're doing through the Spirit, giving these the specific prophecies, making it clear for Jake and Eve, so they know, okay, this is the sound of battle, this is the sound of war, this is the sound of destruction. Let me prepare. And this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 45. And it reads, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. Right. So separate from Babylon and grace. Separate yourselves from America. Be renewed in the spirit and be renewed in your mind, man. It says, unless your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. Right. So when you Nakwan went into, we praying that something happened, man. We praying she get touched. We don't hope that she backs out. We're not praying for America, praying for America to strive for another 200 years, man. We're not praying that she get kind of caught up and she miss her. We're hoping that she kind of get there. She kind of take her shoes off, relax a little bit, and next thing you know, her damn hotel is blown up, man. That's what we kind of hoping for, man. But some brothers, the Lord said, hey, some brothers and sisters, you may hear that rumor and get scared, like you went to earlier, because you damn smoking a blunt, man. And now you say, oh, damn, now you damn burnt a hole in your damn pants, you done dropped the blunt, and you're struggling with it because you're terrified because you heard that rumor. You shouldn't be scared when you hear the rumor, right? Because you should be confident that, hey, humbly speaking, you should be confident that the Lord is with you, man. You should have faith, right? Verse 46 from the top. Unless your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year, and in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Right, so it's gonna be constant rumors. It was, World War III rumors last year. Now it's World War III rumors this year. If God forbid, if it's next year, it's gonna be World War III rumors next year, man. To suddenly the rumors are no longer rumors. It's just suddenly this is the real deal. I got one more. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 10. And it read, but executing thy judgments upon them by little and little. Right. So the Lord is judging America little and little. You may think, oh, y'all, hey, things is happening, man. It may not be, the big right now, it may not be, the big bang. It may not, the missiles probably didn't hit right now. Hey, but things are being set up. Like I said, it's a chess game. This is not like kids playing chess and they kind of doing whatever they want, doing, they laughing. You got real men who's kind of sitting down, they focus. Hey, they're putting pieces, in order, man. They putting pieces together to making sure that they win that game. Sometimes it may go quick, and sometimes they may be at that board game for an hour, man. You know, so the Lord is judging this place and plaguing America little by little, just kind of chipping at it, man. Even with boxing, you don't just go out there and start throwing haymakers. You may throw a little jab, you know, throw a jab. You kind of see what your opponent about, see what he, you know, you may take a punch on purpose just to see how hard he hit, and then you go in for the haymaker. But Wisdom Solomon 12:10, but executing thy judgments upon them by little and little, thou gavest them place of repentance, not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation, and that their malice was bred in them, and that their cogitation would never be changed. So the Lord, that's grace. That's grace and that's mercy. The Lord knows, you know, if he would have made World War III happen a long time ago, nobody would have made it. I ain't saying nobody, but a lot of us wouldn't have made it. This was 12, 15 years ago. We'd have never, you know, took heed, man. So he's doing this about little and little, kind of warning Jake so you can see, oh, this thing is real, but also still giving you that time to repent, you know, before all hell's truly break loose. So this should be a faith booster for the nation that, hey, the Lord just judged America by little, man. The Lord just moved the pond on the chessboard. Let me get myself together.
I'm gonna get this precept to add to you. This Shalom, King.
Shalom.
This Psalm chapter 112 and verse 6. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. Right? His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies. So the Most High said, the man of the Lord, he's not going to be afraid of evil tidings, man. He's not going to be afraid of bombs dropping or hearing about China threatening America, because his heart is fixed. What does it mean you're fixed? It means he's stable, immovable, steadfast. He said, look, man, the Lord, like Psalms 91, the Lord said 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, man, but it shall not come nigh thee. You got to believe that. When we see bombs dropping and World War III kicking off, we're not going to damn, Most High willing, right? We're not going to damn start crying, man. Oh, Lord, why? Lord, please. Oh, God, no. We're not going to be doing that, man. We're not going to go to the petition, to go to the local damn Capitol building. Can you sign this to stop World War III? Right? Just sign here and sign here. Right? I'm looking for 1,000 signatures. If I can get 1,000 signatures, they're going to stop World War III. Can we please get Nancy Pelosi on the phone so I can talk sense to her? Right? We're trying to go to the White House, stop. And I just seen this tweet. They say this is from some random individual. Why doesn't Pelosi leave China alone and keep her away from the Taiwan Strait? Stop her visit to Taiwan now. You know, we don't want to stop her visit. Why would we want to stop her visit, man? If I could, if they run out of fuel, I would put gas on her damn jet, man. Right? Hey, look, you know you got somewhere you got to go. I will call out tomorrow, take and go to Taiwan and help fuel that jet up, man. If these guys call out, hey, put me in there, man. Right? I haven't drove a plane before, but I'll drive her to China. Most High willing, the Lord teleport me back to where I'm at, man. You know, drop her off in damn Taiwan and leave, man. And then go to China, tell them, hey, press the button and starting this war, man. But the Most High got demons and angels to do that, man. But that's how much we're in this thing, right? Let me get this in Proverbs one more real quick. This Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, right? Then you got satanic sites popping up, man. Let me get this out of here. Salakia. Absolute madness, right? So this is Proverbs chapter 3, and I'm gonna read verse 25, right? Proverbs chapter 3 and 25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. So the Most High said, don't be afraid of sudden fear. Sudden fear is literally when all hell breaks loose. Jacob's trouble. Sudden fear is when you're at work and you go on your phone and you see World War III has started. Nancy Pelosi, so-and-so happened to her. That's sudden. Sudden fear is you wake up in the middle of the night with a national emergency and saying all black Hebrew Israelites, if you see them, turn them in. They have started a conspiracy to start World War III. That's sudden fear, man. The Lord said, don't be afraid of sudden fear. We know what's going to befall us. We just put our trust in Yahweh Shah. We know World War III is going to happen. We're watching the beginning stages of it, right? We know that all hell is going to break loose. We see these things coming. Yahweh Shah has told us these things from the days that were before thee, right? So guess what? We're going to put our trust in the Most High. We're going to put our trust in Yahweh Shah. We're going to pray. We're going to fast. We're going to be diligent. We're going to keep watching. We're going to see this world crumble, and we're going to call upon the name of the Lord, man. Right? But you got it, King.
Con, let me bring this up. Hey, and man, this is our exciting times, like the brother always say, man. All hell was breaking loose, man. And the Lord is giving you that faith and that boost in the last days to understand what is going on, man. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 14. And I'm going to start at, this whole thing crazy. I'm going to start at 18. Though these three men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord, they shall deliver neither son nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves, right? Or if I send a pestilence into the land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith the Lord God, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, they shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. And this is another indignation that brothers should be on fire, man. Because the Lord is not coming back to save you if you're slothful, you're not vigilant, you're not watching, you're not steadfast. The Lord is only going to save those men by their righteousness. For thus saith the Lord God, how much more when I shall send my fourscore judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence to cut off from it man and beast. So the Lord is trying to cut you off, man. Right? If you're not diligent and steadfast, the Lord will cut off his own people. He's already cutting off these nations. The Lord will cut off your own children out of your house, man. You got to understand this thing is serious. And anybody stopping the will of the Most High subconsciously or wanting to save their children, wanting to save their job, not ready, you know, they found naked in the day of the Lord is going to chop you down, man. Verse 22 and 23 is the point. Yea, behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth. Thy sons and daughters, behold, they shall come forth unto you, and ye shall see their way and their doings, and ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem. So the Lord will comfort you concerning all of the evil, whether it be pestilence, whether it be noisome beasts, whether it be destruction, whether it be death, whatever it is. The Lord's latter end is to comfort you and protect you concerning this evil. Verse 23, and they shall comfort you when ye shall see their ways and their doings, and ye shall know that I have not done it without cause. All that I have done it in, saith the Lord God. I mean, you got to know this thing isn't without a cause. The Lord isn't blowing up and having wild earthquakes and volcanoes and damn windstorms and planes and damn rumors of war. All of this isn't for a reason. The Lord said, and ye shall know that I have not done it without a cause. All that I have done in it, saith the Lord God. I mean, you're going to understand in that day that all of this was the will of the Heavenly Father. Prophecy, death, damn World War III. All of this is the will of the Lord, man. The Lord said in Sirach 41, right, in verse number 3, fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee. Right? Remember all of our forefathers, man. Read the Maccabees. Understand how many men have died courageously for the will of the Lord. You understand? It says, them that have been before thee, and that come after, for this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh. And when Judas Maccabeus was met with wars, man, he didn't back down. He didn't flee. He wasn't scared. He wasn't anxious to see what other options that he had, man. He hasted until whatever the Lord put in front of him. You understand? Because he trusted in the Lord. Brothers got it.
I got a precept. This is Second Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 9. And it reads, if when evil cometh upon us as the sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house. and cry unto thee in our affliction, and then thou wilt hear and help. Right. So when evil, war, pestilence, judgment, anything befall us, man, we're not gonna put our faith in carnal things. Because brother, we're not gonna, like brother said, we're not gonna cry. Hey, we're gonna call upon the Most High Yahweh Shai, man. We're gonna call upon the Lord, and He will hear us, and then He will help us, man. And you gotta meditate on precepts like that, man. So that day, you know, your oil won't be all out, and you can remember, hey, because a lot of jakes, when all hell break loose, the first thing they're gonna do is reach for a gun, you know, reach for that bug out bag, you know, try to call, you gonna try to call her husband, you know, where you at, are you almost off of work? You know, that's what's gonna happen, man. But the Lord is telling you the first and foremost, first thing you should do is call upon Him, man. Let me get this in. I thought I was talking. This second Maccabees 15. Second Maccabees chapter 15 and verse 9. Second Maccabees 15 and verse 9. I'll start at verse 8. Second Maccabees 15 and 8. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty. So we have to remember the former times, man. We have, the brother said, we have to remember how our forefathers, they died manly for Yahweh and Yahweh and His laws, statutes, and commandments, and for this truth, man. We have to remember how the Lord always delivered us out of hard times, man. We have to remember how the Lord made Job latter end better than his beginning, right? And the same will happen to us. Verse 9. And so comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and with all putting them in mind of the battle that they were afore, He made them more cheerful. Right, and that's what we do, exhorting our brothers and sisters so they can be more cheerful in this thing when you hear those rumors of wars, man. You want to be more cheerful. You want to be excited, man. You know, as soon as I realized this was going into, I was at work driving, kind of start speeding. I gotta hurry up. I gotta hurry up and get on here, man. You want to be more cheerful, more excited, and you want to, have confidence in Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, and trust in and have faith in Him, man. Right? Because this Bible, a million accounts in here about how you and your forefathers was always delivered, man. You know how the Lord always had your back. It's a constant reminder, right? So, brothers, we can't forget about that in these days.
Con, I want to pull this up real quick. Hold on, brothers got it, but I'm gonna pull this up in a second.
Con, let me bring this up. All right, this First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse number 58. It says, And Judas said, Arm yourselves and be valiant men, and see that ye be in readiness against the morning. So we have to watch all night long until the morning, man. When our forefathers went to war, don't just think that they just yelled charge. There's a bunch of people running, man. When you read the book of Joshua, the 9th chapter, the 8th chapter, all of these different things, especially the 8th chapter, they sat and they watched, you understand, to the rising, and they were camouflage at night, man, until Joshua gave the decree for those men to go to war. So how much more on a spiritual level, man? This is spiritual warfare. If you're not watching and staying diligent and understanding what's going on and arming yourselves for this war that's coming fast, and it's not just a war. I mean, you get your machete and your damn, you know what, man? That's not talking about that. We're at war. This is God's chosen people against the wicked. We're the third temple. This thing is about to get real deep. It's about to get spiritual. You have to arm yourselves to watch. How are you going to call upon your protection, the Most High God, while Yahweh Shah, if you're not watching? And that day come upon you unawares. It says, And see that ye be in readiness against the morning, that ye may fight with these nations that are assembled together against us to destroy us and our sanctuary. For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people. So the Lord said, man, it's our forefathers said it's better for us to die in battle, man. I mean, you're supposed to haste toward these days. You're supposed to haste toward pestilence, violence, tribulation, affliction, turmoil, death, confusion, uprisings, seditions. The Lord and our people, they hasten toward those days. Why? Because they wasn't scared. And if you're scared, you're going to be hesitant. You're going to be backpedaling. You're going to be fearful. You're going to not have your mind and your spirit together, man. What keeps you on fire? The words of the Lord. What has you to have confidence with faith in Yahweh Shai? What has you to be able to be saved? The Most High having mercy on you. So you should already know what to pray for, what to hasten to, what the days on the earth are coming into. Said, for it is better for us to die in battle than to behold our calamities for our people and our sanctuary. Nevertheless, as the will of God is in heaven, so let him do. Meaning the Lord wants to do this, man. As the will in heaven, so let it be on earth. So if the Most High want death and destruction to hasten, who are you to stop that? Who are you to backpedal? Who are you to scratch your beard and look around and, well, maybe this doesn't sound right and I don't know. And no, you're supposed to be beating your hands on your damn chest, man, on the desk, going crazy. Because you see prophecy unrolling right in front of your eyes, man. Right? Let me get this last precept. The book of Ezekiel. Brothers brought out Ezekiel chapter 12 and 22.
La.
Come. It says, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, right? Prolonged, and every vision faileth. And that's how man is, man, especially Jake in his truth. They be in his truth, they get the seditions, and they see all of the tweets, and that's when you want to be on fire. That's when you want to start watching. That's when you enter this thing, and all of a sudden you in World War III. When the men before, they already were watching. They already were understanding what was going on. And a lot of people scoff in the back of their minds and their heads, saying that this thing isn't going to come to pass. You got China, you got Taiwan, you got Russia, you got all of these allies and Confederates about to start World War III, man. This thing is on the rise. It's not on the rise anymore. It's on the peak, man. This thing is about to go down at any given second. It says, tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, that they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but saying to them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. So the effect of what Ezekiel was talking about, the effect of what Nahum or Habakkuk or all of the prophets that have been before us. You understand, these days are what we're living in. These days aren't to just be read and prophesied about on the highways and byways, man, or make 1,000 videos with no effect. These days are at hand, and this thing is hastening to fulfill what the Lord has set from old for it to come to pass. 4, there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divinations within the house of Israel. For I am the Lord, and I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. Because a lot of people have the notion that this thing is going to happen 10,000 years from now. The Lord said this thing is not going to be prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, I will say the word and will perform it, saith the Lord God. So when the Most High speak, it shall shortly come to pass.
I want to, Slocky, bear with me, it's a delay. I want to pull this up too. I will pull this up, Slocky. This is from the Insider paper, right? 4 hours ago. Make sure this is showing. Like I said, there's a lot we want to get into or wanted to get into. Financial Times update on Pelosi's Taiwan trip. Right now, they're saying she may go tomorrow. Some are saying she may meet with on her Wednesday. You know, some say she may meet with them Tuesday. Right? We're watching. President Joe Biden dispatched senior officials, so like including National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, to lay out the risk to Pelosi, but people familiar with the situation said she had decided to press ahead with the landmark trip. Many Republicans and a few Democrats have urged Pelosi to proceed, arguing that any decision to postpone or cancel would be capitulating to China. It's lucky. But the White House is worried that it could trigger a crisis across the Taiwan Strait, where tensions have spiked over the past year. So you have people telling her not to go. You're going to start World War III. Many lives are at risk. Don't you see the risk that could befall you if you land there and meet with this guy? And other people are saying go. You know, so this nation's pretty much divided when it comes to this trip out in the South China Sea, man. You know, the Most High said, I want to get this precept in Isaiah 19 real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and 14. It reads, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. You know, so the Most High has a spirit working in the minds of Babylon and their leaders, presidents, kings, politicians, these elites that work behind the scenes to make them make moves that's detrimental. You know, there was a time when America made moves to build up the society. They had the Industrial Revolution. They had the post-Great Depression era. They had all of the days of prospering, but now America's on a decline. And this is one of the worst moves that America could make, man. You know, here they are, they're about to start World War III, and a prophecy is about to be fulfilled in Revelation, the 17th chapter, with the 10 horns. Because if America, like we brought out earlier, if America gets involved in war with China, by default, we know again, Article 5 of NATO says that other countries have to get involved. And they don't want to go to war with China. They're busy dealing with Russia. Germany is about to collapse economically, right? Because they're on the verge of war with Russia. Serbia and Ukraine and Russia are all mingled in a possibility of war. So you have war on two fronts. If you're watching, you see what's going on with Serbia, right? You see what's going on with Serbia and Ukraine. They say Serbia is going to invade. Now you have potential war with China and America. So I want to get this precept in Revelation. Actually, let me get this in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. All right, let me get this quick precept. This is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 42, 2 and 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. So the 10 toes represent NATO and the EU, right? Now, America's the big toe, for lack of better terms. Now, and they're the big toe on the left foot. So America, they have that strength of iron, that same military might as ancient Rome, but this kingdom is partly weak because they're divided politically, they're divided in legislation, they're divided in motives and philosophies, and they're not together like ancient Rome was. They're divided by an Atlantic Ocean, they're divided by interest with Russia. Some nations don't want to go to war with Russia. Some countries do want to go to war with Russia, right? I'm going to read Daniel chapter 2 and 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So the European Union is going to be divided. Right? In Revelation chapter 17 and 16 or down, the Lord said the 10 toes shall hate the whore and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Because America's drawing in these countries to a conflict that they don't want to deal with, man. They're telling you not to go. America says we're going to go anyway. And one more point, we've all had that friend in the world, or most people, who does the most. We'll just leave it like that. He does the most. You're trying to calm down a situation, and this guy keeps egging it on, man. He may be drunk, you know, he might have something to prove, and he keeps egging it on and egging it on and egging it on. And now all y'all got to fight, man. Now everybody's in jail. And eventually you kind of get on that guy, man. You know? So America's that guy who's getting everybody involved and getting NATO involved in a conflict that they don't want to get involved in, right? Literally, Serbia is about to start World War III out there in Eastern Europe, and America, they're going to start war out here in the Pacific. So things are heating up, but brothers got it.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 32, and verse 2. Son of man, take up a lamentation for Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and say unto him, thou art like a young lion of the nations, and thou art as a whale in the seas. and thou camest forth with thy rivers, and thou troublest the waters. So you got certain nations, they trouble the waters, man. They start stuff, they push, and then damn get confounded when they get pushed back. Now you got different confederacies with economic, right? Like BRICS. Or you got the UN where they sit down at a round table. You got all of these different confederacies, these allies, and this thing gets real deep. You can have one nation that could trouble the waters for the whole entire earth, man. They kick this one thing off. Someone as small as Ukraine, small as Taiwan, like a hill. You understand? Not a mountain and nations, but a hill. That one nation can kick it off with an ally, which could have an uproar to destroy all of the kings of the earth. This is Ezekiel 32 and 29. There is Edom and her kings and all her princes, which with their might are laid by them that are slain by the sword. It says, which with their might are laid by them which are slain by the sword. So you got people that's confederate with Edom, laid by the side and slain by the sword. They shall lie with the uncircumcised and with them that go down to the pit. So whoever Edom's with, whoever their allies are, whoever they're next to, they're going to be slain as well as Edom to go down to the pit.
And go ahead, King.
All right, classic. Obadiah, verse 7. And these all the men of thy confederacy have brought even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right. So everybody's in confederate with you. You know, it's that they're gonna turn their back on you, man. Like it says in Revelation 17, America's allies, NATO and the EU, well, they will turn on them, man. You know, so that's your military might, and you kind of put your trust in them. You know, if you're sitting on the beast, and soon that beast is gonna kind of rise up and turn on you, man. You know, so America, like we was talking about earlier, America's finished, basically, man. America's finished. America really has no allies, when it really comes down to it in this thing.
I want to add to that. This is Jeremiah chapter 49, right? This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. It reads, concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? So the Most High said, he's talking this talk. He said, what happened to all your wisdom, all your military might? What happened to all your information and knowledge? What happened to all of the Edomites being together? They are the most divided nation on the earth, really outside of Israel, man. We're under the curses. And you can see Esau, he is completely divided. And these Russians are Edomites, man. And they're fighting against other Edomites. Like the Lord said in Revelation, the 6th chapter, about the red horse, and power was given to him to take peace from the earth. And it was given to him a great sword that they should kill one another, man. Paraphrasing. So you have the spirit of death and division amongst Esau, and there is no more wisdom in the Edomites. Everybody knows their kingdom is falling. People are separating from them. They're not dealing with the American dollar anymore. They're waiting to see what BRICS is going to do, what Russia and India, Brazil, and China and South Africa have involved, right? Iran wants to join. Every nation is China and Russia now, and they're departing from America and leaving her shadow. Like Hawaii said, they have few allies, man. They have a few allies that still want to stick around, but people are pretty much leaving this place, man. You can see every kingdom had a beginning and an end, like we brought out, and you're living in the end of America. Right? They're not going to have any more good days beyond this. When they start World War III, which most are willing they will do, and China gets involved in Russia, it's lights out, man. Now I want to bring this out real quick. Salakia. Now, America and China, or Salakia, America has done war simulation drills to see how they would fare in a potential war with Russia and China. They've actually done live simulations. Let's see if I can find that. I'll find. I know brothers got precepts, but they did it a few years ago. Come, let me bring this up real quick. And war game simulating. Check this out. This really happened a few years ago. And war game simulating a high-end fight against Russia or China, the U.S. often loses. So they actually take all these factors, military, economy, Navy, Air Force, and they take all these factors together and do a war simulation drill. And they have found out that the United States, and here's their words, gets its ass handed to them. U.S. has been losing simulated war games against Russia. World War III simulations show U.S. being crushed by Russia. Right? So, I mean, you can't get around this, man. America's finished, but brothers got it.
God, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6. And it reads, shall not all these take up a parable against thee, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, man. Right, so all these people are going to take a proverb against you, man. These countries are going to turn their back on America. These Russia, China, Iraq, Iran, Ukraine, these countries rise up America saying, how long, man? How long would a woman sit as a queen, who basically got her riches by deceit, man? And they going into debt, man. When is she gonna finally, be destroyed? And they waiting on that day, man. They want to push the button. Then, it's just being strategic. They're not scared. They push the button right now if they wanted to, man. Right, but you can't be a fool when you go to war. Right, verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them? And that's a rhetorical question. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite? Because America don't think that it's gonna get bit. This is why this woman, I believe it said, I forgot the year. They said this is the highest rank, it's the highest rank to go to Taiwan since the damn 90s. So she don't think that she'll get bit. She don't think that Russia will rise up suddenly. That she don't think that the weak will eventually say, I am strong, man. Right? It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booty unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of man's blood, for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right? And the Lord said in Isaiah 33 and 1, woe unto them who have been spoiled, who have spoiled but haven't been spoiled, man. Because all America do is vex the people. All America do is oppress the people, but nobody oppress them. You understand? Call wars, but nobody calls war on them. It says, well, I'll end right there. That's on that.
God, I got this. I'm gonna pull this quick article up from Readiness.
Can I bring this up?
All right.
Book of Isaiah.
And Salakia, before you bring it out, I want to make a quick point, King Salakia. I mean, this should be a charge, really, for brothers to be on fire, man. If you haven't been on fire, like Hawa said, I was excited, man. Kind of ducking off at the workplace, hitting that refresh button, hoping that something kicked off, and measuring the times, and damn near, rushing home to get the precepts and go into the lesson and get things prepared, man. We get excited about stuff like this. The sports, rap, celebrities, hip hop, Hennessy, blunts, cigarettes, black and milds, damn cornrows, Timbs, jerseys. This stuff doesn't excite us, man. Right? Reality TV, holidays of the world. We're excited about prophecy. Right? We are excited about prophecy. Now, you got it, King. Go ahead. I want to bring this out after you.
That's a quick precept. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to treacherously, they shall be. Right. So, hey, the Lord like judgment unto a ring. So, America's America's judgment past due. It's past due to they on borrowed time, like they say, man. So the Lord said, "Whoa, woe mean death, woe mean destruction, man, destruction unto you who has spoiled." And we know that you have really made all nations drunk, but all nations, chiefly the children of Israel. So what? Hey, so woe unto you, man. Now it's your time to get spoiled. You know, you got it, Gene. Shalom.
Shalom, King.
Shalom.
Can brothers hear me?
Shalom, okay. Come.
Yeah, I wanted to pull us up real quick. I think it may be a delay, right? This is from an hour ago, right? From Readiness.com. Very reputable source, right? So they're telling you straight up, this about an hour ago, they posted this information. You can look it up, verified. Bear with me. They're saying the U.S., if they visit Taiwan, it would undermine U.S.-China relations. Now, they said, as this loads up, Salaki, for the delay, what they're saying is if they're going to have to use force, right? This is really an hour ago, right? Maybe 2 hours ago. China says Pelosi Taiwan visit would undermine United States-China ties. It says a visit by the U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan would undermine China and the United States relationship, China's UN ambassador Zhang Jun said on Monday. Pelosi was set to visit Taiwan on Tuesday, three sources said, as the United States said it would not be intimidated by Chinese warnings to never sit idly by if she made the trip. Such a visit is apparently much dangerous, very much provocative. Zhang told a news conference that marked the start of China's presidency of the UN Security Council for August. Quote, if such a visit happens, it will also undermine the relationship between China and the United States. I want to jump down to the point. Here it is. Taiwan's tendency towards independence is further developing. If we do not take appropriate, forceful action to stop it, the situation might be even out of control, Zhang told reporters in New York. So, Lord willing, they live by these words, and they use forceful action to stop this thing. The brothers got it.
I'll bring something up. But let me go to the book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, woe to the bloody city, is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip, the noise of rattling of the wheels, and the prancing horses, and the jumping chariots. So all hell was about to break loose with these armies and these tanks, man. And all hell is up on the rise, and brothers got to be watching, man. So when you go into prophecy, as brothers know, you can't just equate everything to one nation, because these different nations, they have allies. You understand, they have enemies and confederacies, and they all moving together. That's why the Lord said in the book of Matthew, let me get the class. It's the book of Matthew, right, chapter 24 and verse number 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So there's a lot of different nations which fuel gas to other nations. There are a lot of nations that help with food, that help with product, that help with wool, flax, linen, and all of these different things on an economical level. So once these things and these ties get cut, it's going to be a lot of nations without any food, without any resources, and these economic things, and a lot of money or whatever that's going down. So not only is war going to kick off, but the U.S. dollar is going to decline, cutting ties with different nations, right? Different resources that America once had is going to get cut off, because it's not just about a damn tank, man. Because you got economical trade on a high level that goes on in the earth, man. And a lot of these different nations, they do a lot of economical trade, and those things are going to start getting cut off, which is going to kick off a famine, which is going to kick off pestilence. You understand? Because a lot of these nations, they do trade with these different medicines and hemps and different things for the pharmaceutical plants and treatments. So all of these things are going to play a major part with one with another. Brothers got it.
Con. Oh, you got it, King.
You're on mute.
Con. All right, let me bring this up. This Second Peter. This 2 Peter chapter 3, and I'm gonna read verse 11. It reads, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" So if you know that the effect of the missiles are about to draw nigh on the earth, if you know World War III is about to kick off, and all these things are going to be dissolved, and your job is going to be dissolved, your bank account is going to be dissolved, your house is going to be dissolved, your car is going to be dissolved, your damn front porch is going to be dissolved, and the wicked are going to be dissolved. And the Lord said, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved." What? Because that's the end effect of war anyway, of these missiles. It reads, "What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" So the Most High is telling you, if you know all hell is about to break loose, you should make sure that you get your spirit right, man. Shouldn't you? The Lord says, shouldn't you be on fire? Shouldn't you be godly, keeping the commandments? Shouldn't your speech be seasoned with salt? Or is this the time to be freaking off, drawn back into the world, drawn back into the old man, digging him up out the grave and asking him to hug you, huh? And you become him. This is the time to be holy in your speech, a time to submit to the Most High, a time to pray more, a time to fast more, a time to read more, a time to study more. It's not a time to invest in the world, man, and think about your 401k plan in 20 years from now, man. Or getting your doctorate degree. I got to go back and get my double doctorate degree. I'm thinking about taking 8 years away from the truth and investing those 8 years at damn GCC community college, man. The Lord said, "What manner of persons ought ye to be in holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness." Right? So we're looking for a new heaven and a new earth, man. Right? We're looking for this place to go down. We're looking for America to go down. We're looking for somebody to press the button. We're looking for planes to explode, bombs to drop, and peace and kingdom amongst us as a people, man. Right? So even though you'll have war kicking off, you might get destroyed in the war if you're not on fire. Here you are watching all of the prophecies unfold, and you're not even keeping the commandments, man. Oh boy, I'm watching. I see World War III, and brother, you just got through smoking a blunt, man. But sister, you refuse to submit to your husband. What? Like the Lord said in Amos the 5th chapter, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord," man. To what end is it for you? A lot of brothers, you desire the day of the Lord, and you're gonna get destroyed in the day of the Lord, man. Oh boy, I see all hell about to break loose. Yeah, it's gonna break loose on you, brother. because you still hold on to that grudge. You still didn't get your fringes. You're still shaving your beard. You're still holding on to knowledge. You're still envious and jealousy and jealous, man. But brothers got it.
I got a precept. This is Hebrews.
I got one after you.
This Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. And it reads, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience unto the race that is set before us. Race, let's put off the weak nature, basically, man. Put off the weak nature. Cut off your right hand if you got to. Pluck your eye out if you have to. Whatever is offending you, whatever is holding you back, the Lord said, hey, man, put that to the side and run this race, man, with patience, right? Verse 2, looking unto Yahweh Shah, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. For consider him that endures such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Right, so you want to look at the example that our Lord Yahweh Shai has set, that the King Yahweh Shai has set, and you want to follow that great example, man. So the point is, man, you want to be singled out in this thing, singled out, focused, and like a brother going into being a more on fire than ever, since you see that these days are approaching, man, that the days are being shortened, that the Lord is plaguing this place little by little, and you hear more and more rumors, man. Right? You got it, King.
Come on. Mighty point. The second Ezra chapter 2, verse 10. It says, thus saith the Lord unto Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles which I have prepared for them. So the Lord prepared everlasting tabernacles for Israel. But brothers gotta really want this thing, man. Getting the kingdom of heaven isn't just shaking a damn hand at the white man, or it isn't just wearing a garment, man. This thing is deep. You have to actually watch. There's so many things you have to do to obtain the kingdom of heaven, man. You have to be lowly, meek, humble, steadfast. You got to endure. You got to forgive. You got to love your brother. You got to have compassion on your people. You have to watch for the prophecies. You have to have faith. You got to keep the laws, statutes, commandments, ordinances, everything that is written thereof. You got to understand what the Lord is talking about. You got to know the Most High's true name. This thing is deep, man. It's not just on one avenue or one damn street corner or something that you just think is easy to obtain just because you have fringes and a beard on your face. They shall have their tree of life for an ointment of sweet savior. They shall neither labor nor be weary. So everybody may be getting scared or troubled or fearful or not understanding what may befall us in the next 2 months to 5 months. But you have to understand that the latter end will always be better than the beginning, man. The beginning was small. You understand slavery, picking cotton, death, right? Confusion, being lost in this world. But you have to grow in this thing, man. You have different creatures, like a bear going hibernation. He'll go into the cave, right? He'll duck off, then he'll come back after the winter is over. You have certain creatures like caterpillars and things, growing the butterflies. Everything has to evolve through labor. Everything has to go through a stage. And you got to be ready to go through the stage, man. The stages are going to be set like your fantasy. You trip and fall, and you run, then there's a bomb they hit, then you explode, then you kind of go somewhere, then they're invisible. That may not happen, huh? Let's be realistic. You're gonna be cold. You may be naked with no clothes on. You may not have shoes on your feet. And a lot of women they're gonna be dirty. Let's just say that. And a lot of men, they're gonna be crying, and that strong manly nature that they have now is gonna be broken into damn pieces, man. The smallest things in this world, like losing your job, your kid being killed, or your wife committing adultery, or God knows what could break down a man and having to cry. Think about the days to come. Think about what's actually going to hit the earth, and how strong you have to be mentally to surpass those things, man. And it isn't knowing all of the precepts and all of the war breakdowns and all of the prophecies. What it is having true faith in Yahweh. That's what's going to get you through, whether you're man, woman, or child. Because a child could be preserved. A woman could be preserved. without a man, a leader. A man just coming to this truth 3 months ago can be preserved. What spirit are you in? What man, like the brother said, what manner of conversation are you in? How is your spirit? Is it going to be preserved? That's the point. It says, go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days. So how many people are praying for a few days? You're praying that you get a promotion, right? You're praying that your car doesn't give out because you're hearing that damn noise and your wheel keep locking up at every damn stoplight. You're praying that you got food to eat every day, and I'm tired of eating chicken. I'm ready to eat something else, right? You're praying for vanity and foolishness. The Lord said, pray for a few days. Now, a few days on the earth does not mean that you want to see the next 100 years, or maybe in my lifetime, I want to see the Lord. No, pray for a few days, meaning every single day you pray, you on your knees, that you're praying that this place is destroyed, man. Not only that it's destroyed, but for your people to be uplifted and saved. Because this is captivity. Let me get this quick precept. I'm going to finish that one. But let me get this quick precept in Proverbs. Because everybody too busy looking down, and they neglect to look up to know what the Lord is going to bring to the elect and the chosen. Right? It's the book of Proverbs. This quick precept. All right? Chapter 15, verse 24. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. So the Lord said this place is hell from beneath. So everywhere you go, it's hell. Every situation that you in, you could look at people that may go so-called a vacation, they may make money, they may drive a nice car, they may have a beautiful family, but nevertheless, don't get sidetracked that we're put in this condition as hell, and we want to depart out of it, like the scriptures say. Going back to 2 Esdras chapter 2 and verse number 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. So if you have the kingdom already prepared for you, why are you prolonging hell from beneath? Why are you prolonging affliction and turmoil? Why are you prolonging the estate where you see our people and getting destroyed, man, with police violence and all manner of mischief, man? And we get sick into our stomachs seeing our people in this condition, and we want to get them out of it. And the only way that that's going to happen is by hastening to troublous times that are going to befall us as a nation of people.
Con. And go ahead, Yardan. You had something? Yeah, so when it's all said and done, brothers have to understand what's important, right? You have to understand what's important because these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Let me get this in 2 Esdras chapter 16, right? Just because China may, potentially or may not do something to Pelosi or her plane doesn't mean the chariots are going to come that day, right? You have many prophecies that still have to come to pass, right? You have manifold things. You still have Jacob's trouble, right? You still have World War III that has to keep rolling and keep rolling. You have many things that have to unfold on the earth, man. So you have to, endure these things and understand that this is the beginning of sorrows, right? This is the beginning of the end, man, right? 2 Esdras, I want to get this. Chapter 16, and I'm going to read verse 20. It's like 18. 2 Esdras 16 to 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine. It's the beginning of famine now. It's not necessarily completely desolate, but you go to stores, they just shut down a grocery store 10 minutes from here, man, from where I'm at. And you go there, they say, sorry, there's no more food. People are going to Walmarts and they're taping up with yellow tape all of the food in Walmart, saying if you can't eat that, it's bad, when it's really not bad. And they're just tossing the food out. So these are the beginning of famines, man. You buy 5 things from your local grocery store, it's almost $155 for a loaf of bread, a box of cereal, a carton of eggs, and God knows what, man. You're paying $150. Food, inflation, interest. This is stores are closing. They're firing people and laying off people at jobs. They're just cutting off people. Everything's downsizing and collapsing because this society is crumbling internally. And this is the beginning of sorrows, right? A lot of, and I'm going to read this too. It reads, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, because wars have a beginning, they have a middle, and they have an end. And wars don't last 1 month. Wars don't last 3 days. Now, nuclear war is going to, speed things up and hasten the destruction, but wars take time. The beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Meaning, amendment means to change. Now, the Lord said he's putting these plagues on the earth so man can repent and change and get their spirit right. That's why the Most High has war. That's why he's showing you what's happening with Pelosi in Taiwan. So you can repent from the destruction coming to the earth. He's scourging the earth with interest rates and inflation and disease and famine, so you can look at it and say, I need to repent and come back to the Most High. It's not sent. The Most High is not just doing this so his people can watch and eat popcorn, man. The Lord, I'm going to read it again. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish, those are spirits sent on the earth, are sent as scourges for amendment. So those are spirits sent down on the earth to punish the earth so man can amend their ways and acknowledge Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua and turn away from their evil deeds. Read on. Behold, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And that's how our people are. The Lord said, even though he's sending these plagues on the earth so you can repent, 2 things are going to happen. The Lord said they're not going to change. And what's even worse is they're not even going to be mindful. Some people are watching this and they say, well, I don't know, the universe is out of control, right? The universe has these things happen. That's karma. No, this is the Most High doing this, man. And you have to be mindful. A wise man is going to say, oh boy, Yahweh, Bashmi Yahushua, he's touching the earth. I see what the Most High is doing. He's stirring up World War III. That's Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21, 2 Ezra 15. Okay, that's the amendment in 2 Ezra 16. Let me make sure I'm on fire. I'm diligent. I'm praying. I get my spirit right. My household in order. Let me start, getting ready for these end times. That's what a wise man's going to do when he sees all hell breaking loose. The Lord said that the fool, he's not going to even be mindful of the scourges. Right? Reading on. One more. For many of them, Salaki, I want 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So victuals are like food and things you need for life. So people are looking at the gas prices and they're saying, wow, gas is getting low. Man, gas used to be $4.99. Now gas is $4. Maybe things aren't really, maybe it's not the end of the world. Gas was almost $5 in America, but now it's really $3.99. Things are turning out. Things are looking up. Maybe we have a chance. And that's how man is thinking. They're watching gas prices go down and victuals become cheap, man. And they think themselves to be in a good case while you have all hell breaking loose on the earth, man. So, and the Most High told you that man is going to not, like the Most High throw a curveball at you, man. You think it's coming your way just for you to miss. So people think things are getting better just for them to fall out. This whole chapter is fire, man. 2 Ezra 15 and 16, it's absolute fire, man. Absolute, and you can vision it. You can envision these things, man. So, at the end of the day, and the Most High set in these orders so man could change. And you brothers that don't want to repent and get your spirit right, when this draft kick off, you're going to be somewhere in the Philippines, man. Somewhere under a hut, asking for shelter, or a captive in a holding cell from a bunch of Moabites, whipping you, speaking Chinese to you. wishing that you put the blunt down. So, you don't want to get caught out in this madness, man. Brothers got it.
I got a quick precept in Proverbs 20. It's like in Proverbs 14 and 16. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. Right? You don't want to be a fool and just be so confident that it's all going to be okay. Like the brother was mentioning. It was somebody at work saying, I think things are going to look up. I think things are looking up for America. And I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, wow. Because, gas prices kind of went down a little bit. But $3, that's still a lot of money. Don't think that's okay. That's not even a norm, you know. So nevertheless, you don't want to be confident in a plain way, like it said in Sirach 32 and 21. But a wise man is going to fear the Lord and depart from evil. Because again, the only way you're not going to find yourself in crazy situations, such as in a damn FEMA camp with Moabites, with the chopsticks looking at you, like you sushi, or you're in another foreign place or in this place. The only way to make sure that you're not in those places is by fearing the Lord. And we make light of it sometimes, but in all seriousness, those situations can definitely happen. We just end up in a Moabite, downtown China. What do they call it? Chinatown? When all hell's breaking loose. And you in a meat department. You see, that's nasty. But anyway, this is right 32 to 14. Whoso feareth the Lord will, it's like 32 and 21. Be not confident in a plain way. Because, there's a thin line between confidence and pride, you know. So a lot of brothers are confident and, really prideful in a plain way. And one last thing, it was, and I never forget, it was that one old video somebody showed me where a lesbian, she said, let me know when the Lord is going to come back so I can repent. Until then, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. That's being confident in a plain way. You just think the Lord just gotta respect you and the Lord gotta forgive you. The Lord don't gotta do nothing. So you gotta keep.
Right. Let me bring out this quick precept real fast. Right. It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, and verse number 49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, when the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. So that flower, the flower don't know what's going on, man. Until that heat scorch it and destroy it and uproot it, and then it damn gets put to death, man. Right? The same way man doesn't perceive. Now, in order for that flower to be overtaken by that heat, that flower has to be vigilant that the heat is arising, the temperature is changing. And you have to be knowledgeable enough to perceive the earth when things are uprising and upholding. And not say, well, that happened last week, or that happened in da da da, or that happened in da da da. Hey, things have been kicking off since 2001, man. I mean, you've been hearing about war since I was a kid, before I even knew about the truth, before I even came into this thing. And it's happening more and more, seditions and uprisings. It's repetitive. It's to the point now where it's happening every day. When you hit world news and you go through these various sources, there's not a place that's not something going on in the earth about, man. And it's always something to watch and be vigilant about. It says, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastened with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. Right? Jumping down to verse 55. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore, thou shalt receive recompense, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall God do unto thee. They shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fail through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down. So the Lord's breaking down all of the cities, man. When you read 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, I mean, it's going into everything. You could dive into this thing, talking about Asia, Babylon, the dragons of Arabia. You understand Jacob's trouble. I mean, you got to really read and link these things up with prophecy. It says, thy sword broken down cities, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. So these Walmarts, these Food Line, these Costco's, these Safeways and Giants, they're closing down. They're gearing up. And a lot of food is being taken off of the shelf. And, you know, I challenge Jake the next time you go grocery shopping to really evaluate what's really on the shelf, man. And what wasn't on there the last month you went shopping. And see how things are changing. Look up statistics. Find these things out, man. Stop being reliable on another man to tell you or for it to pop up on your computer screen, huh? Because while you're not watching yourself, you could get taken unaware. So this is why it's very important for each and everybody to be a watchman, man, to sit up on the high tower constantly to watch for the prophecies in the last days and pray for mercy.
God, I want to get a quick precept.
I got one more.
Brother said, be on fire. And this Exodus 27 and 20. And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring the pure oil olive beaten for the light to cause the lamp to burn always. So the same way in the ancient world that you have to keep the lamp or the menorah and the fire burning, you have that fire inside of you. We are those 7 golden candlesticks, man. We are that church. So you have to keep that fire burning with that oil. This is not the time to be losing your oil, to be having itching ears, to be in tossed with to and fro with different doctrines. This is not the time to be checking out other books, to say, I wonder if I should try the ancient Kemet way out, or maybe I should just, kind of pull back a little bit and figure out what this thing is about. The Lord said to cause the lamp to burn always. So the lamp has to be burning always because the priests need to see so they can do the work of the Most High. So equivalent to let your light shine before men. The Lord didn't say let your light shine for 3 days. Let your light shine for 4 days. Right? The Lord didn't say let your shine. You be in this thing for 3 months and let your light shine. Be in this thing for 4 years, and then, okay, after 4 years, you don't have to let your light shine. Your oil could leak out. You could just drift off. The Lord said to cause the lamp to burn always. So brothers have to ask yourself, is your lamp burning always? Or does your lamp only burn on the Sabbath? Or does your lamp only burn when all hell breaking loose? Right? Then you start trimming your lamp. Right? All hell breaking loose, and you try to trim your damn lamp, man. You can't be that kind of guy, man. You got people like that watch sports. They're only a fan when their team is winning. When it's the playoffs, right? Or it's game 7. Now they're a fan. But now they'll go get their jersey, get that nasty foam finger, that helmet with the 2 beer cans and the straws connected to them, and now they're the #1 fan, man. Only when things are going down. So you can't be like that in this truth, man. You got to be in this thing when things ain't speeding up, when things are moving slow, when things are moving fast, when it's raining, when it's cold, when it's snowing, when it's hot, when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you wake up. You got to fight in this thing, man. Because these demons are going to make you feel like you don't need to read, make you feel like you don't need to fast. Those are demons working on you. Yeah, you don't really need to fast. Fast tomorrow. Fast next. Those are demons you just let working on your mind. And you don't have to pray. Why don't you just pray maybe an hour from now? Maybe an hour. You're just letting demons just push you all around, man. And you read enough for the day. 3 chapters, you see you're getting tired. Just go to sleep. And you have no fight whatsoever. And you just let these demons just take a hold on you, man. You got to fight the good fight in this thing, man. And keep your lamp burning. But you got it, King.
God, you don't want to let these demons. Oh, you got it.
Nah, go ahead. You got it.
So you don't want to let these demons kind of break down your vessel and touch you. This is Revelation 18 and 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stone and pearls and linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood, all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood. Because as the brothers was mentioning, America does a lot of trade, and they get a lot of imports and exports, things of that nature. But eventually, all this, and as we can see now, it's all being cut off. It's all slowly stopping. So as a result of that, well, what are you going to see less of in the store? Certain clothes, certain whatever, the things that's being listed, you know, and brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots, slaves and the souls of men. Even America that does business with these countries, they have some of these resources. But guess what? Those certain countries are going to cut off America. And when America can't buy or sell, it's going to wither up. It's going to dry up and get nasty. When America dries up, the grinder has ceased from his labor. And it's going to become a slow domino effect. Or really, it might be fast. Like it's saying Sirach 38, all the things that make a city what it is, all those people are going to stop working. And the cities are going to be desolate. And I was thinking about that last night before I fell asleep. I kind of woke up. And that was the first thing on my mind. Once I kind of just put that on my mind, I'm like, damn, all hell is going to break loose. So the last thing you should be stressing about is work. That should be the last thing you stress about, worry about. So what? So what your boss yelled at you? So what that Eve didn't reply back? Who cares? Yeah, you got to deal with things in his life, but in the grand scheme of things, who gives a damn? Your neighbor kind of getting mad at you, your family going this and that and the third. So what, brother? So what? And if you got something to say, well, I don't know, y'all, that's going off. So what? You got to deal with it. Because if you can't get over the things you're going through now, how you gonna make it in Jacob's trouble? One little inconvenience kind of make you cry and break down, But what are you gonna do in that day? So you gotta endure. You got it.
And let me bring out this quick precept. Like the brother is saying, man, like both the brothers are saying, you gotta endure this thing, man. You gotta fight. You have to stay on fire. You can't let any small thing get to you or take you or uproot you out of this truth, man. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 132, and verse, number 4. I would not give sleep to mine eyes, nor slumber to my eyelids. And you could do that subconsciously. You could do that by not going hard enough, by limiting yourself. And don't limit yourself, man. Don't limit yourself to 3 chapters a day. Well, I'm going to do 3 chapters a day, and that's it. Or I'm going to do this, and I'm going to shoot for 3. Well, brother, shoot for 7, man. Shoot for 8. Shoot for 10. Shoot for as much as you can. Or shoot for 3, and then do your precepts. Or then, write a breakdown. Then organize and set your family up. And help your children understand who David is and build them up. Shoot for his perfection, man. And the Lord said, I would not give sleep to mine eyes, nor slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for the Lord and a habitation for the mighty one of Jacob. So you're going to have certain men that are going to be on this earth that are never going to sleep. And that's not on a physical level. That's on a spiritual level. Meaning they're not rocked to sleep by the elements, the spiritual demon Satan, the philosophies, the doctrines, the lies, the wicked conversation, the lust thereof, and everything that is against Yahushua. They're not going to fall asleep through slothfulness, man, and vanity, in their own carnal pleasures, in their own things that make them feel good, man. So what if your back hurts? So what if your hands cramp, man? So what if you're sleepy? And you have to push through that sleep sometimes, man. Most of the time. You want to take care of yourself to be applicable and healthy to do the work of the Lord. Nevertheless, you got to set that bar as a man of the Lord to push through almost anything to make sure that you're doing the work. You're eating. You're taking care of your spirit and your household. You're going to have certain men that do not fall asleep, man. And that's hard to believe considering how Jake is so anti to go back in the world every 5 seconds. How easily offended they are. How easily seduced and lured the way they are by cigarettes, demons, women, and strange books. So you have to understand that the elect's mindset, verse 5, until I find out a place for the Lord a habitation for the mighty one of Jacob. And we haven't found that yet because we're still in captivity. We got to find that until the end, to where we get beamed up and placed there, man. That's when I have it. That's when I found it. That's when I see it. And then that's when I can rest, like it says in the kingdom. But nevertheless, until then, we have to push forward through the mark, through all temptation and afflictions, man. And this thing isn't going to get easy. That's why the spirit of Yahushua is set upon man on the earth, and evidently upon a prophet, to say the same things over and over. Because you have somebody probably in damn Africa saying the same thing as us. You got somebody in God knows where in Babylon saying the same things. Because the Lord got the spirit of his servants to go into these prophecies, to understand that the end is hasting to come to pass. Now, let me get this last precept. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 130, and verse, right, number 6. My soul waiteth for the Lord, more than they that watch for the morning. I say more than they that watch for the morning. So you got to wait for the Lord. And waiting sometimes can get tiring. You understand? Because you know how Jake is. They don't like to wait. You know, they want things immediately. They hasten their minds to unbelief and, you know, long forbearing. You know, it's hard, man. But the Lord told you to wait and watch. And that's what make it all perfect. And that's what make it well worth it. And make it that more evidently damn on fire when it come to pass, man, for your spirit, and with more faith and more zeal when you actually watch this thing unroll.
Yeah, quick point. There's an old saying in the world: absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know, so in your waiting, your heart grows even fonder and fonder for the Lord, or that it should at least. But if it's not, that means your strength is small and little. You know, just waiting for the Lord should make you want to yearn to do better and better. I know he's coming. I know he's coming. I can't wait. It's like when your parents say, "Hey, you know, when I get back home, we're gonna go to the store and buy your game." You know, you get excited. You wait, and nothing's gonna break. You know that joy. So that's how it is really when the Lord says he's coming back. You just wait and getting excited. I can't wait. I see all these things that's happening. I see the signs. I can't wait. You know, you got it.
Quick point, King, and you just made me think about it. And Yahweh is patient, man. The Most High is patient, because we're his fruit. You understand? And the Lord said in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter, let me bring this up. Now, everybody has to reach their peak. So the Lord is sitting back, watching, being patient, seeing things come to pass through his hand, and the elect getting sealed. It's the book of Revelation, right? Chapter 14 and verse number 16. I'm going to start at 15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come. So you have a time that come. I was reading Ecclesiastes today, and, you know, I was reading some chapters, and, you know, that thing is deep, man. You know, like the Lord said, there's a time to get, there's a time, you know, to let loose. There's a time to reap. So it's a time for everything. And right now it's the time to watch. And then it's going to be a time to be fulfilled what was watched for. It says the time has come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So right now, if everything is on a garden level, or everything is fruit and everything coming to pass, it has to slowly increase, has to be watered with more wickedness and more violence for those immortal, wicked, nasty, God knows what, you know, fruit to bring forth a yield, man. So the Lord could chop them down and burn them with fire. It says, and he that sat on the cloud thrust in the sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. So the earth has to be reaped at a specific time and a specific hour. So as we watch in his garden, it may not be that time to be chopped down immediately, but you have to peep and watch and understand that certain wickedness is coming to pass and blooming upon the earth.
God, and just one more quick announcement, right? The UN chief warns world is one step away from nuclear annihilation, right? And if you know things tick off, they're going to update that doomsday clock. One step away from nuclear annihilation, right? The mighty brother Amaziah, right? WFI St. Louis just sent that An article from J Post, Iran says it will build nuclear warheads and turn New York into hellish ruins. So they're telling their citizens in New York how to find a nuclear fallout shelter. I mean, the days of evil are here. People, when has that ever been a thing in America? Find the nearest fallout shelter, right? I thought this was the land of opportunity, the land of free. Now this is the land of finding fallout shelters. America's telling their citizens in New York to get a go bag, a bug out bag. Here's how you make your bug out bag. So even the conversation is changing. Things, the rhetoric, the mentality. More people are talking about the end of the world. People are prepping. The elder just told me that he went to the store and these two Eves stole a whole bunch of meat, man. They said, stop, you got to pay, or whatever they said. And they said, look, to hell with that. Meat is expensive. We're out, man. So theft is increasing. People are getting evicted out their homes. And like I said, Jake, you're worried about the next video game to come out, man. Right? You're spending all your money on a video game chair just so you can stay up all night and do God knows what, man. So you in the end of the world, man. But brothers can bring out, whatever they want to bring out, closing precepts, or if they got precepts.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 7, verse 23. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. Hey, all the things that we're saying through the Spirit, it's not because we made it up. Yeah, hey, it's all coming from the scriptures at the end of the day. We showing you what's in the scriptures, and we're telling you to look up and see that it's coming to pass. All of the dreams, all the visions, everything the Lord said is slowly but surely coming to fruition. So you can't be offended in it. You can't say, I don't like that. Don't tell me anymore. You can't close your laptop. You can't run off into the night and go to Caribbean islands and go to another land thinking to escape the impending doom. You have to accept it for what it is. You got it.
Yeah, quick point. A brother said he told us he's going to Puerto Rico. He said he wants to escape the destruction coming to America. He said that's his only chance. And he's taking all this stuff and he's out. He said, I'm going to Puerto Rico. I don't want to deal with the destruction. The other brother said, I have to go to Egypt. I have to go to Egypt again. And then they're literally waiting their deliverance in Egypt. Right? So, brothers got to get their spirit right, man.
That's in that movie Greenland. Esau always makes you believe that there's that safe haven. It's just that one safe spot. That's in zombie movies. And if we go up north to this state, it's the safety zone. That was in I Am Legend. It's always that one little safe area. Esau is always making sure of that. Well, there's not going to be a safe area. I got one last one. This is Jeremiah 51 and 64. And it reads this. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink. It didn't say half of Babylon. It didn't say a third. It didn't say just a piece of it. It said Babylon in entirety. Babylon sink and shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her. And they shall be weary. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. So Babylon shall sink and no part is going to rise up. If you say you're going to this city or this wherever for a safe haven, you're pretty much saying, "Oh, Babylon's not going to sink." You calling the scriptures a liar? No, you're just being offended in a word. So that's why the Lord said, "Blessed is he whosoever is not offended in me." So you got it.
Come on. All right, let me bring this closing precept up now. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse number 2. It says, be watchful. And that's a commandment from the Lord, man. The Lord commanded his servants to be watchful. If you're not watching, then what are you doing, man? What are you doing with your life if you're not watching the end of the world come to pass right before your eyes? You see the famines, the pestilences, and you see all the seditions, man. What else more do you need? Do you need Vladimir Putin to come to your door, man? Do you need that Pelosi to knock on your window at night? What more do you need to come to pass for Jake to understand how serious this is, man. This thing should light a fire under you. The scripture should light a fire. Fasting constantly should light a fire. Talking to brothers and fasting with them and, encouraging them and exhortating and lives. And it's too much going on for you not to be enduring and zealous in this truth. It's too much. Or else you're just not predestinated. Or the Lord's not dealing with you. Or the Lord removes the spirit from you. Or you really don't care about Yahweh shine these words. Because I can't see a valid reason of somebody not being on fire and watching in the last days. Unless you're withdrawing yourself from the Lord slowly and you don't perceive it. But whatever it is, you got to check yourself and examine yourself and do what's commanded and do what's literally predestinated that the elect is going to be doing in the last days. It says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. And this precept is for examination because everybody has to examine themselves. Because at the end of the day, the Lord is not going to give you a pass. You either kept his commandments or you didn't. You either kept the faith or you didn't. You either watched or you didn't, man. At the end of the day, you either strengthen what you needed to strengthen that's going on in your life with whatever you're dealing with or you didn't. You thought you were perfect. You thought you didn't need to work on anything. You thought you were A-okay. You just got off of a fast. Or you already prayed 7 times today. Or you already did what you thought was the bare minimum to succeed, man. It says what? And strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found our works perfect before God, man. So each one of these churches, you understand, they had to stay on fire. They had to keep that candle lit, man. And that's how we are today. We got to keep the candle lit. And nobody's found perfect without blemish, without spot. And even in all of your fasting, your praying, and you being upright, like a lot of men are in the Bible, you still could fall that very next moment, that very next day, that very next hour. So we have to continuously examine ourselves, pray and repent, because the Lord isn't finding all of our works perfect. It's always something to work on. Remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast. Because in the hour of temptation, it's going to be easy for things to slip from you, or you to be frantic. It says what? And repent, if therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. So the Lord's going to hasten to come upon you if you're not watching in the last days. You understand? And the Lord says, I will come as a thief. And nobody knows when the thief is going to come. Break your windows in the middle of the night. Steal something from you unaware, right? In the twilight. So you have to understand how serious this is, that at any given second, as we go to sleep tonight, tomorrow, or hastening to prophecy coming to pass with these foreign relations and these different nations, that this thing could kick off at any given second. And everybody got to watch and keep their garment.
This from Liberty Times, from Liberty Times, Pelosi expected to arrive in Taiwan at 10:20 p.m. It's from Liberty Times, so we'll see. They say 10:20 p.m. Right? That's when she's expected to arrive. We don't know how Yahweh Bashmi is going to have things play out, but we're praying for the worst, right? On these heathen. The Lord can have things cool down. The Most High can have this thing. Sometimes the Most High do that, man. He'll have things speed up to see who's really in this thing, and then he'll have things cool down. A lot of brothers, man, they'll put a timeline and they'll be like, man, I thought that was the end. And then they'll go back in the world, man. And the Most High marks them and says, yep, you was only in this because of A, B, and C. I'm going to take my Holy Spirit away from you. So, the Most High always throws these things out here. And a lot of brothers, they use this as a crutch, for lack of better terms, when really you should always be diligent, and not just try to get diligent when you see these things happening, man, right? But let me get Revelation chapter 22 and 12, right? Revelation chapter 22 and 12. It reads, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. We see that. So the Most High is going to give unto every man according as his work shall be. And really, your work is a testament, right? Your work show how much you believe in the Most High. Your work show how much you want to serve the Most High. So if you have no works, that means you really don't believe. You could talk all day and write stuff on social media and talk a good game, but where are your works at, man? How much do you really believe? How much work are you really putting in? You understand? When it comes to this truth, when it comes to studying, when it comes to reading, when it comes to charity, when it comes to loving your brother, when it comes to alms, how much work are you really putting in, man? So the Most High is going to render to every man according to his works. But with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, like Yahushua. Keep watch. Most High willing, things speed up. You did have blood moons back to back to back to back, maybe 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, right? Coming off a nationwide fast, no more than a month ago, and things are speeding up, man. Things are speeding up, and you're watching the end of the world, right? But again, with that, we're going to close up, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, like Yahushua. I will open up the hour to take questions, like we always do every Monday. Brothers could call in, and sisters could call in if you have questions. That's 213-603-9096. Again, that's 213-603-9096. And that PIN number is 94809-305. Again, 94809-305. But with that, Brother Naquam.
Brother Yardon, you on mute, King.
Brother Wright.
Kwam Yashala, Shalom.